Alright, everybody. It's currently not showing, but that's because I'm sitting on the launcher. Because I hopped into the menu to make sure that my controls were working, and I don't necessarily know how to get back to the splash screen and everything like that unless I just go straight back to the menu. So we're going to give this a shot. We're going to see how it turns out. I have some feelings already from some things that I've read that people have said about it that have raised a few questions, basically. So, that'll be fun, I guess. But we want to watch this opening cinematic. Not because it looks any better than the original, it's exactly the same. But... oh, hey, good to see that...
Oh, banana stream hijack.
Let me just take a moment to complain at Stream Elements for not updating my graphics that I had for the notification box. I just absolutely Armageddoned my entire stream notification and just reset everything to hopefully stop the doubling. And you can see that while it brought the sounds over, it A, didn't bring over the voice, and B, it uses their ugly looking default graphics. I want my Dancing Construct 7. Also, thank you for the resub for 32 months. You absolute clown, man. So, yes, let me just say two things real quick. And the first is the one that you have probably reckoned immediately, is that there are these questionable looking borders on the sides of these cutscenes. Also, my cursor is still visible. I forgot to turn that off. I'll fix that in a moment. And the second is that, no, they haven't updated the graphics for the cutscenes whatsoever. They've updated the other graphics for the games, but for some reason they were just like, oh, leave the cinematics looking like they did in 1999. Which, you know, I like the look of PS1 FMV, but it absolutely does not fit with the rest of it. And, yeah. This is already kind of striking me as being something that was a little bit on the cheap side of, like, I don't know. Okay, I was trying to figure out what the fuck you were saying, because that barely looks like a word. So I'm genuinely curious as to what the deal is that they were like, hey, we don't want to update our cutscene graphics, but we're going to make everything else look a little more polished. And for that matter, what even the purpose of re-releasing this is? Is it just because they figured, hey, let's try and sneak some money out of people? Or are they actually considering doing something with the project? And by project, I mean the franchise in general. So, yeah, questions abound. I am going to Alt-Tab out for a second and hide my cursor because I don't think I'm going to need that. I'm just going to have to try pointing at the screen and then failing miserably to actually indicate anything because, you know, you can't see where my finger is whenever something comes up that, you know, looks like jank. So, that'll be fun. Vibration function. I don't know if that's even going to work, but we'll leave it on. It's not going to affect you guys, but it'll affect me. Hang on, these are Xbox controls. Well, okay. So I guess we already have access to the fast forward function on R2. That's nice. Click both sticks for auto battle. Left stick to turn random battles off. Random is a bit of a stretch for describing the battles in this game, and click the R stick for battle boosts. I have no idea what that is, but I think they've already given us access to a cheat menu, which, if this is how they're accomplishing it, oh my god, my chat looks horrible. I need to I need to change how that's set up. Thanks a fucking lot for making this not look good, Stream Elements. Why do I give you fuckers money? Oh, wait, I don't. But, oh, they really want me to, They sent me a bunch of notifications. Oh, hey, would you like to have stream merchandise? And I'm like, no? Is there someone out there who would actually wear merchandise for any of my shit? I'm not that big of a deal. Although, like, I guess if I, push a reasonable number of subs on YouTube, t-shirts could happen. Somebody get like 100,000 friends on there. Friends, whatever. Nobody has friends in this day and age. Not even on websites that call followers that. Anyway, we're going to see keyboard controls that we don't care about because we're not going to use a keyboard for this. Ooh, this is actually really good. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They've upped the namespace to 12 characters. On the PS1 release, it was a measly 6 characters, and I don't know why the fuck they did that. How many t-shirts do we need to sell before we recruit Poshul? We're probably going to do that in like half an hour or less, so that's, you'd have to go real fast, I'll say that, Lethal. Don't worry about it. Ah, yes, let's get some more of that crusty 1999 era cutscenage going in here. Looks so weird next to everything else. Also, yeah, that Art of Surge, for anyone who is familiar with the original game, is definitely a little different. Nobuteru Yuki, who did the original artwork for this game, as far as I know, did new artwork for everybody. And some of it looks a little bit off compared to the original game. Alright, who's our mystery third-party Well, you know what, Lethal? I don't think you're going fast enough. Oh, is it getting framey already in, on Twitch? Because it looks okay, but I've seen worse. Also, yeah, we can see the accent generator coming into play already here with Poshul trying to call us Sergi Poo, but it looks like it's saying Sergey Poo. Audio jumps. That sounds like you. Because the audio sounds fine on my end, and by that I mean we're listening to the boss theme right now, and it sounds very tinny. I don't know, like, what the deal is here. This sounds like the DS version of Mega Man Battle Network 1. Yes, it would be Soggy Grosminipu. Yes, you are correct. And yeah, Poshul is a talking dog that cannot keep tongue out of its mouth. Her tongue? I don't remember. And here's Kid, a character who is a little bit of someone I have things to say about, with her new artwork looking not so good. Like, Poshul looks fine. Poshul just looks like a more HDized version of PS1 Poshul. This is different artwork entirely. And, like, I can't tell if she's supposed to have, like, a streak of, like, war paint almost sort of makeup across her nose, but it just looks like a band of nose blush. And is kinda... The overall art style of this particular piece of artwork is kinda not great. Also, she speaks in quite possibly the worst sounding Cockney/Australian accent ever. It's Sunburn. Well, we are in a tropical island location for 99% of the game, so that makes a little bit of sense. So for those of you who are wondering, well, for those of you who are wondering why in the hell we've got a We've got a dog in our party. I see a little bit of chop in the frame rate of the scrolling back and forth. This game just had the dog call me stupid shit. That sounds like a good use of money, actually. So first of all, yeah, there's a little bit of funk in this scrolling back and forth while you're running, which is unfortunate because the walking speed is so fucking slow. For those of you who are wondering why we have a large pink dog with us, that third-party member is randomized for this sequence. So I've seen a couple of different options here. Obviously, right now we have the dog. Options that I know I've seen offhand are mostly Nikki and Orcha, I think. So I was gonna say a lot of reds, but then I remembered, oh right, Nikki's blue? I can't ever remember that for some reason, that he's actually blue. Let's take a look at our menu here. Can we go into our configuration? Can we set things to auto run? There we go. We can turn on an auto run. Thank goodness. Let's try turning our left stick sensitivity to analog and see if hopefully that does things a little better. But yeah, you can see that it's saying Xbox commands, which is unfortunate because that's going to just confuse me. So I gotta admit, this looks like it's something that doesn't belong to any particular age now as a result of the remaster and everything. It's a little bit weird. And you can see that the backgrounds are still kind of PS1 looking-ish when we're on the field. Let's take a look at our, we're taking a look at the profiles here more. So you can see we've got some stats over here. This innate color thing, this is a thing that we will worry about. Yes, that is a thing I want to point out. Surge is 5'7" and 128 pounds. I could eat this bitch for lunch, and I would still not be full. Like, whoever it is who assigned the heights and weights clearly did not know what a human being weighs. It gets really bad with certain characters. I had a whole rant in this when I did my fairly recent video of the original of this game. Because, dear God, does it get things wrong. Your cat weighs more. I bet. So anyway, old boy Sergey Poo here, he's got a weapon type called a Swallow. It's basically a two-ended sword. It's a spear. I mean, it's clearly some sort of fishing implement, right? So, I mean, I suppose that's sort of what it's supposed to look like. It got the double hook thing. But I'm just gonna say it in order to piss off Plastic Alan if he's around. This is a spear user. It's a Christmas ornament hanger! Fuck, you're right! And yeah, 17 years old, male. Everybody has a little title over there, so he's the silent protagonist. And true to form, Surge is not gonna speak, and if we see him speak, that's fucked up. So we'll take a look at Kid here, who is 16 years old and dresses like that. 5'5" and 99 pounds. I think that's a little off, even if her build is slender. She is an innate red type, which basically means that she's better at fire magic than everybody else, relatively speaking. Although, it doesn't really restrict what she can equip that much. How does her stats look compared to Surge? Oh, she is not as impressive except for her agility. She's an Allen-type Pokemon. Oh, it tells you stamina recovery. I don't remember if that was a thing that was visible in the original, but I will assume that it was. So she does recover her stamina a little bit faster than Surge, which means that she gets to do a lot more stuff. But that's only so the helpfulness of that depends on the situation. The default female character isn't impressive, huh? A lot of the characters are unimpressive. Where's Lynx? The Wonder Dog? Poshul. 3'8", that is I've never measured my dogs, but that seems a little large, and 26 pounds. I seriously call bullshit on that, because I'm pretty sure that my Chihuahua weighs 26 pounds, and she is decidedly not roly-poly. Dominant paw unknown, by the way. I do like that. Size of a child weighs like a bag of peanuts. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. This dog definitely needs to eat something. Poshul's stats are kind of unimpressive, but she does have pretty good strength and decent HP for the time. She is a yellow innate, which basically means that her strengths lie with earth and thunder magic. Unfortunately, with a magic stat of 7, that's kind of not really a strength so much as it is a not downside. From what I remember, a lot of people generally think that most of the yellow innates kinda suck. And to be fair, the game does throw a lot of junk yellow innates at you. But we'll see how that pans out when we go a little bit deeper into the game. Let's take a look at elements. This is our magic system for the game. You can see everybody has this weird little set of boxes right next to their name. That is their element grid. Limiter, lock on the collar. You are absolutely correct. And basically, you can fill these out. We're going to click allocate instead of use here and take a look at things. So we'll take a look over here, and you can see they've given us a fairly basic array here. So at each element level, you kind of want your elements to match the element level on the grid, but it's not a requirement. But this is where all of your magic goes. And here, aside from a few special techniques, which you can see Surge has his dash and slash sitting at level 3, everybody can use pretty much anything they want unless it specifies only usable by certain innates. So the amount of customization you can get on characters' abilities is wildly high. As you can probably guess, that eventually becomes a bit of a problem when it comes to characters having identity. But we'll talk about that when we get further into the game, when we have more than 3 people and more than just a fistful of random shit that the game gave us for the tutorial segment. We can remove all if we want to, or we can just remove singular elements. We won't do that. Yeah, somebody was wildly high when they designed most of this game, weren't they? Lethal, I don't know how to tell you this, but Poshul is absolutely a person. Oh. Oops. What does Poshul carry? As a mithril glove? See? Totally a person! Poshul has hands, apparently. Paw glove? I don't know. Do I look like I know anything? Because if you think I do, you're very silly. So we've got all mithril / silver equipment, which I guess is supposed to be the same tier because game designers. Again, this is the tutorial zone though, so that's not going to last. Items. Now this is an interesting thing, is that there are not regular items in this game. We just have key items. All of our in-battle used items are controlled by elements, so that does put a bit of a chokehold on your ability to just be like, oh, I'm gonna carry 99 Phoenix Downs into this boss fight, it'll be fine. Instead, no, you get a limiter on those, because you can only... It's just one of those cable switchers from the early 90s. You're right, it's just that's just a fucking VCR rabbit. What are they trying to sell us? Time Shifter. Kiss my ass, game. Anyway. So, a thing that I didn't really explain, and I will try to explain better when we get to it, or perhaps I'll just let the game's actual battle tutorial, when that crops up, take care of things for me. is that elements can only be used once per battle, except for consumable elements. Like, you saw those ones that were marked Tablet X5 on people's grids. People and Poshul's grids, I guess. Now Poshul doesn't count as a person, I'm sorry. Poshul's personhood seems to be randomized. So, those tablets are basically consumable healing items. They're also effectively magic, so yeah, things are a little bit wibbly in that regard. And yeah, as Lethal said, it's nice because fights will not drag out too long. It's also basically a mechanic to prevent you from just turtling through every fight, which I kind of like, question mark. I think it's a lot smarter than anti-turtle mechanics in a lot of other things. So, credit where it's due. We've looked at the configuration menu already, but let's take a look again. We can turn our sound to mono if we're crazy. Our window frame. This is something that's a little bit fun. We can go through quite an array of custom window frames. We've got this one to start with, which is kind of on theme. There's a turtle on that title screen. Yeah, I know. It's a load of bullshit, isn't it? This simple line. This is just the Earthbound hockey box. That's neat. Iron plate. This looks a little bit more like FF9 in particular, although I think that had more of like a sort of stone texture to it. It's a little bit boring. Some of these get pretty out there later on, and we will definitely try to pick up a couple of those because they're fun. I know not everything is Earthbound, but it is that color scheme though. It's the black/dark gray background on white. Listen, it should be. You'd think, oh, shouldn't you be describing that like Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy tended to be blue. We're going to leave our cursor position to default for now, I guess. Accuracy selection, I have no idea. That... okay, so I assume that this is going to adjust, like, which attack that we use based on accuracy, which is the thing that we'll see in battle in a bit. And everything else is fine for the time being. Can we do anything with the load screen here? Oh yeah, oh no, we can't just save in the middle of things, but we can load. Obviously, this being an old school RPG, save points are a thing, and good god, this background actually looks really, really bad. Like, it's very clear that they basically were just like, okay, we're gonna stick this into Photoshop or something like that, and we're going to adjust the resolution. Because you can see how blotchy it is if you look at this in high resolution, which admittedly, my stream is not... I mean, I do stream at 1080p in theory, but that window is definitely shrunk down. This is something, if I wanted to, like, full screen it, I may well do that for a second and let you all get a quick look at that and see if you can see just how bad looking it is. Sound is going away for, like, 10 seconds here while I set this up. Copy transform from another one. Transform. Stretch the screen. So can you see how nasty and blotchy some of the areas of the shading on here are and how, like, we're butting up against color limits these are? That is definitely some lazy shit. I admit I'm kind of disappointed in that. I'm sitting here like, you know, I paid only $20 for this. I don't know how upset I can be, especially because this does also come with Radical Dreamers. But, this really is kind of not so great. This is what you would call unfortunate, to say the least. This is, at that point... Can you still buy this on PS3? Like, surely PS3 is not, I don't remember if the PSN store for PS3 is gone or not. You heard that you can't. Is that independent of PS3 store or what? Because I don't know if that's a thing that's been removed. If they yanked it from the PS3 store specifically and that's it, well then that's kind of a dick move, Square. But I guess okay, they gotta promote the new version, right? They gotta extract a little bit of money out of people somehow. Oh, they can't. People that bought it on PS3 or Vita can't access it at the moment. Yikes. That's a pretty fucking big yikes. I don't think I have it on PS3. I own a copy of the PS1 version. So I don't have to worry about that. Ha ha ha! However, I feel like it's a little bit questionable. I'll say this. If you can buy a PS1 copy of this and you have a PS1 or a PS2, do that. If you have a PS3 and this is still accessible on it, which I don't think it is, then do that. Basically, this is unfortunately seeming like the worst option. And obviously we're cutting out things that are extra legal, shall we say. Because, yeah, obviously get DuckStation and download it from Vim's Lair. No shit. I don't have to tell you that, though. And if I do say that to somebody, well, I might get in some deep shit, right? Oh, also, I forgot to hit start recording on this. I'm real smart. And yeah, absolutely, Poshul's, seems extra legal. Thanks, Lethal. Yeah, Poshul's accent can often end up looking a little bit, uncomfortable. A couple other characters have that problem, too. When we recruit Mojo, which I think is going to be a character that we can get pretty easily, that's going to come up, too. So, yeah, this is not the correct way to go, is basically all they wanted to say to us. So, Poshul's accent. All the accents are basically generated from stock text, running it through a filter of some kind. And you can tell that it causes a lot of issues. Let's get into a little bit of combat here. You can see that overworld combat is... overworld combat, shut up. You get into your battles on the overworld by walking into enemies. There's no real random encounters as such. And we are now faced with something that is a little bit complicated to explain. So, I actually am going to go turn the cursor on. I should not have done that. Although it's definitely a thing that is a little bit irritating when it has to keep popping in and out. Let's turn our capture cursor back on. Yeah, I know, right? How did the other one emerge from... So what I want to call your attention to is this thing up here, this field effect marker. This is an incredibly distracting thing that has an effect on how strong certain elements are. And, of course, I have to imagine that this is an absolute clusterfuck for people with certain kinds of color blindness, because hey, 6 elements that are all colors, thanks a lot. And they're just described, you know, there's no indicator except for literally just color up there. We'll see if we can't get that to change in a bit, but you can see that we've got a black, red, and yellow ring on our field, which basically means right now that elements are going to be doing about their base level of damage no matter what color they are, because everything is balanced. But if we start stacking more of these colors in by casting elements of the same color, the elements of that color will just get stronger. Yes, it's very complicated and takes a little bit to get into. It looks like a shitty range meter. It kind of does, doesn't it? Well, I mean, it does say field effect, so hopefully that says something. So the game is telling us to attack. We can't use an element right now because we have a level 0 indicator down there for our elements. We basically have to charge up our ability to use magic. There's no MP in this game as such. We just have to start hitting things to be able to cast our magic. We can have Surge Defend, but meh. We know what defending looks like in an RPG, and the same with running away. So let's attack. We choose one of these Cybots to beat up. These are both yellow innates, so green magic is going to be what will do the most damage to them. Now, before we get to actually attack, we get to choose if we want to do a... We choose based on the strength of our attack. These are... As this number goes up between 1, 2, and 3, the damage of the attack goes up, and the hit percentage goes down. And no, there is no 100% accuracy as far as I know. There's only 99%. And yes, if you've ever played XCOM, that will happen to you. You are correct. And by XCOM, I also mean if you've ever played Fire Emblem or if you've ever played Pokemon. If your accuracy ain't perfect, you will miss very much more often than you should. So just as a demonstration, let's try throwing this level 3 attack. Oh hey, it hit! And we gained 3 element levels, or 3 points of element level, I guess. Yeah, exactly, a 99% is not 100%. And even then, 100%, if you played the Pokemon games on Game Boy, well, those are absolutely not 100% either. So, nice of the game to send us automatically to our tier 3 elements, because we have level 3 element on here. Now that we've hit the enemy, by the way, because we used a level 3 attack, we've spent 3 stamina, and we're down to 4 from our base of 7. Using an element, I believe, spends a whole 7 stamina and basically just ends your turn. Stamina just controls the amount of actions you can do per turn and how when your next turn comes up. So we'll get a better look at that in a second. But let's show off this thing. It is highly complicated and it will turn people away. I absolutely would agree with that sentiment. I personally kind of like it, but I absolutely, if somebody was like, this is way too much shit, I would not disagree with you. Because you're not 100% wrong. Sound effects sound the same, by the way. I was commenting on the music earlier because I was led to believe that this soundtrack would be remastered. This doesn't really sound remastered. It sounds like it has better stereo imaging, but that's it. So let's show off Surge's special move here, Dash and Slash, and hey, we can retarget mid-turn. That's neat. And yeah, you can see that it spent a whole 7 stamina for us. I think that slowed down a little bit more than it was supposed to there. But yeah, a little bit of that slowdown is for the dramatic effect. I've heard some people point out that the frame rate in this is unsteady. And I don't know, so far it hasn't been that bad. But there's also been a couple of comments. Give me just a second here. Low FPS is for dramatic effect. Well, I mean, you understand the idea of like, hey, we're going to slow this action down for the purpose of making this attack look more dramatic and like it matters more, right? So, I'm not completely stupid here, just mostly. So, what I wanted to say is I've seen some people make comments when the frame rate thing has come up saying that you can fix that by limiting the frame rate in your graphics card thing for NVIDIA or whatever. And technically, yes, you can do that. But also, that's the job of the developer. It's not 1992 anymore. I'm not playing this through a fucking DOS prompt. And there's also people who are saying, well, the frame rate was unsteady on the original, and it sounds like what people have been saying is that it is much worse than that relative to the original, and I've only played this game on the PS2. I think the oldest piece of hardware that I've played this on is a launch PS2, and my PS2, I have a fat PS2, but it's not a launch one anymore. The launch PS2 I had died years ago, and I should probably have saved it. Despite that, it could be like a piece of statuary, part of my set or something. The frame rate is a little bit unsteady on that. You are correct, but it sounds like from the general comments that it's much worse than that. Now, so far, we've only been playing for about 30 minutes, and even then, quite a bit of that has been just me talking into the camera, not actually doing anything. So, saying that we've been playing for 30 minutes is a stretch. I haven't experienced very much of that yet, but I've heard people say that it gets very, very bad. And it sounds like it's very, very worse than this was on original hardware. Again, yes, you can do things like this that, you can fix it yourself. But it's the developer's job to make sure that the game is of a decent quality. It should not be more technically complicated to run DuckStation and download this from Vim's Lair than it is to run the official version. No, don't worry, Fire Drake. You have not missed the first battle. I've been talking into the camera about some of what people have said about this and my minimal experiences so far. We're sitting on the first battle. We're talking about graphics. Alright, so I'd like to show off Kid's level 3 element if I can. I think we get capped at a certain number of actions per turn. So here's a nice thing that I haven't really gotten to show off before, is that if you land a hit in a turn, your hit percent goes up for all your other attacks. So we're just going to push it to high enough to hit level 3. Oh, she can't steal yet. She has to learn that when we actually have her in the party. Well, you can kiss my butt, game. That's unfortunate to say the least. So let's throw out arrow saucers, that way we can see... let's just show some things off, I guess, at bare minimum, because that's kind of what this part is for goofing around. Yeah, and see, we whiffed, so we didn't get any increased accuracy. And there we go, out of stamina for the turn. Yes, this is the version that's on Steam. I don't believe it's on sale now. At least I purchased it after it was released, because again, I was hoping for a little bit of a discount too, not gonna lie, because I was like, well, this is doing me a concern overall. I have a bad feeling that this is going to suck butts. And it was not discounted whatsoever because, again, Square Enix are a bunch of skinflints and they don't usually discount their shit anyway, so I'm not super surprised. Also, hey look, Akira Toriyama isn't designing the characters, but we still do a Kamehameha. Okay, they've updated this music a little bit. There's a couple of extra, audio tracks to it, I guess. There's some more instruments here compared to the original. But yeah, this is one of the things that's bugged me about this game for a while, is the fact that instead of giving us, a new victory arrangement, they just bootstrapped one of the characters' themes from the previous game. And here we are gaining a few mini-levels in the middle of a situation. You don't really level up as such, you just gain stats up to a certain point until you defeat a boss, and then you gain a star, which gives buffs to your entire party that are kind of like levels, but they're not really, so there's no experience. And yeah, the dog did better than us. Which is amazing because the dog was a fucking whiff machine! Oh, we can actually fight the bats. I forgot that the bats were, like, legitimate enemies. It's not just Cybots. Not just Cybot Search and Destroy. Not just Noob Cybot. Oh, they're called Alpha Bat. Oh, God. The puns, they begin. There's a lot of puns in this game. Surge, goddammit. It's a bat. You can hit a fucking bat. If you can dodge a wrench, you can hit a bat. Wait. And yeah, kill your enemy in the middle of... Oh! Our turn's not over. It just got a sort of mid-turn turn. Yeah, this battle system is weird. You got a counterattack, I guess. You ever try to hit a bat with a spear? You've got a point. I've not tried to hit many things with a spear, so... Wow, okay, Poshul actually can hit something. I almost called her Pooshul. Poochie. You had one job! And you're fired from that. Poshul gained more health. Congratulations, dog. Do nothing and gain experience. This is subtle commentary on how actual dogs behave. And by that, I mean I completely made that up. Game likes Poshul better than you. It's because I was roasting Poshul's ass earlier for being, you know, basically a beginning of the game character. That's gaining weight. God damn it, Lethal. Yeah, 28 pounds was it for this gigantic dog. This fucking Great Dane ass thing. Jesus. Let's get some asteroids. 26 pounds. Pardon me. Okay, yeah, there is a bit of lag on the ending part of that, but I was going to say that is an attack that I remember lagging a lot more in the PS1 edition, but it's slightly changed. It's just also made slightly worse in a few areas, and by that I mean it's because they didn't fix all of it, that the parts that stand out, oh boy, do they really stand out. Asteroids in this jungle temple at this time of year. Whoa! Frame rates! That frame rate just took a big fucking poke. I don't know what happened there. That's kind of disgusting. Alright, do we still get to spend our one last stamina point? Yes. We've seen Photon Beam, I think. We haven't seen Photon Ray, so let's shoot a beam at this thing. The bats are cute. Yeah, the bats are pretty cute. As bats go, they're pretty alright. I don't dislike them. They're decent bats. Oh yeah, kid's accuracy reset because we switched our target. Yeah, I don't know why there's Photon Ray but also Photon Beam. That seems a little bit fucky. Hey, we got Kid all the way to level 5 so we can see... yeah, Magma Burst. There was a Magma Bomb here, yeah. So, again, thanks, game, for the confusion. There's a lot of this going on. They probably needed to redo some of the names on here, because, again, these are definitely things that are endemic to the original as well. Oh, that was a pretty snappy cut to the end of battle fanfare. Use remaining power and elements from this battle for healing. This is something that I haven't gotten to show off at this point. But yeah, you can see that we took a little bit of damage in this fight. We can use our remaining element energy to just auto-heal at the end of battles. And we're going to try and do as little use of consumables as possible. Because, hey, who likes to spend consumables? Yes, this is... We're going to be moving our streams to an earlier time while I explore this, and probably from here on out, really. Because the midnight thing is not really doing it for me. That's as if I understand what's going on. Yeah, that sounds about right. This is something that, like, you basically... You almost need to just have the tutorial saved as a video on YouTube, especially if it's your first time through. This is a problem with a lot of games, really, that it's like, oh, well, it's good if you've played it before, but also... did I see the image you posted last time? Yeah, I saw that. Those talented capsules are so expensive, yeah. I mean... We can't just buy them in the middle of a dungeon, so... In terms of opportunity costs, yes, Lethal, they are. Grossly so. Kid, that's called a teleporter. Do you not... Do you people not have telepods? What are we doing out here? We teleported. Thing floating? Hard to tell from here, actually. The Frorgeth now. Yeah, that sounds like actual words. They don't have teleporters in Straya. Yeah, good point. If I have any Australians, I have a couple of friends from Australia, so I don't think any of them are watching right now, because it's probably like ass in the morning over there, but on the off chance that they are, do y'all have teleporters? Let us know. That's rough. Yeah, that's rough, buddy. Wait, that's the wrong reference. I don't know. I think maybe the teleporter may have, you know, made his stomach get a little bit funky. Plus, clearly, he's a different art style than the rest of the background, so he's definitely not feeling well. Oh, hey, my controller is actually vibrating. Y'all remember Psycho Mantis in MGS4? Hey, check out that graphical crust. As we get a bunch of images that are kind of creepy, but are going to mean more later on. Ancient dodo reliefs. We've been relieved of the dodo by now. Wait a second. Get rid of kids soon. Don't worry, Tav. We're not going to be recruiting her right away, so at least there's that going for us. Thank you, Temple, for promising me. It turns out it was a bad dream. Also, we got an achievement for that. Wow, we played like 10 minutes in the span of 50, and we got an achievement. Hooray! Thanks, Valve. I can't even blame Valve for that. I don't think... Well, achievements definitely existed before Steam, but the overwhelming overwhelmingness... I need to turn my cursor back off, because we're not pointing at shit for now. Actually, I'm going to leave it on for a bit, because I think we get the tutorial pretty soon. And here we are! We are back home, and we are alone, which is probably for the better. You can see we've been knocked down to level 1. Let's take a look at our... We've got a very different and kind of ugly looking sword. And nobody in our party except for ourselves. I dreamt about a cockney child too afraid to say fuck and a racist dog. Yeah, I know, right? So track how many players are getting this far in the game. Yes, that way you can find out how many people didn't just dumpster the thing immediately, right? So, Surge, do you have anything we can stick on you? We've got an empty slot here, and we've got nothing that we can attach there because our inventory is empty. A one-man party, yeah. I've been around you for long enough, I know that. What's our equipment look like? So we've got a sea swallow, a large oar made from giant fish bone. Yeah, see, an oar. It's for going out to sea with on this kayak. And an ivory mail, light armor made from bone. Yep, we got bones again. Bone Storm! Wait. Wrong company. Still not a good company, but yeah. The bouncer won't. The bouncer. The bouncer! Wait, no, you meant. Oh, hi. Can we talk to you? There we go. Marge. Marge Simpson. Good morning, Surge. You're finally up. The sun's already reached high noon. Jokes go here. Lethal, I realized I haven't added, like, any of my commands yet. I need to do that at some point. Even then, I didn't have Bone Storm as a command on here. That was Brian. God damn it. Meeting with Lena this morning. Apparently, yes. Girls can be pretty scary if you make them angry. Why are you like this, mother? Fuck, is that a cat? It definitely is a cat. I'm just gonna say, am I stuck? Did she turn no clip back off? Can we talk to the cat? It makes a cat noise! Yay! Good. We got a cat just like Chrono. Oh, we got a different cat. We got two cats. We're better than Chrono. This is like the only way in which that is true. That this game is better than Chrono Trigger. It's because we start with two cats. Take a look around the village. Check out this sawfish. That is distinctly not a sawfish, dude. I mean, like, I guess there's a little bit there, but that just kind of looks like crust, and even then, that's not how sawfish do, friendo. That's a swordfish. I think it's not a fucking sawfish. Legendary Dragon King Palace. The what now? You know what? Let's let him... This dumbass thinks this is a sawfish, so we'll just keep feeding this dude some lies. Why is it still... There are some questions we don't want to know the answers to. Repair your roof, varnish your boat. I mean, I know that that's a real thing, but I feel like just saying the word varnish is kind of funny in and of itself. It's squid gut pasta in Termita. That's a very, that's kind of specific in a sense. To a girl I like. Hey, we got a Komodo scale without lifting a finger. Neat. I don't know yet what that's good for. Not in-game, but hey, cool. I mean, this is just sort of, this is the kind of weather you get in every tropical location. Hey, you. Is that a bag or a tail? Oh, you have a custom portrait. Are you going to be somebody important? Spoiler alert. No. It totally blew off Lena this morning. I was asleep. Real What the fuck are you saying? Kind of shows her who's boss? What the fuck is wrong with this person? The Komodo scale is obviously for weighing your Komodos. Yeah, you're onto me now, Lethal. Don't tell her I said so, but my sister's a bit too quick to lash out. Could you, like, make her be a little nicer to me? You have my support all the way. It's crossed for you. They changed the line. Okay, so they did change that line. In the original, Una said to Serge about Lena, could you break her in for me? Wow! That's all I gotta say about that. I can hear Lethal crying already. I can hear Plastic Alan crying already. Probably Fire Drake too, because he watched this with Plastic Alan as well, I think. Yeah, so obviously they had to change that because that doesn't sound right in 2022. It didn't sound right in 1999 either. Let's get the boosted stats. Yeah, there you go. Conducting some kind of investigation up there in Fossil Valley. Why would they dig up a place like that? To find fossils, duh. I mean, it's called Fossil Valley. What do you expect is over there? You got elements, huh? Let's get a look. What do you got for us? Well, we've only got $100, and pickings are a little bit slim. We got some pretty basic attacking elements. We've got tablets for 10 from the Elements store. Did you stop paying attention at a strategic time? Unfortunately, Fire Drake, you missed me being amazed at the fact that they took out the line from the kid with the custom portrait who doesn't matter, who asks us to break Lena in. So yes, you did stop paying attention at a strategic time. Oh, also, we have status cure elements here. These are for specific colors of status effects, which, hey, let's just make this more complicated, right? There's a reason why eventually Final Fantasy games just switched over to doing just Asuna. What do you have for equipment, actually, now that I think about it? Probably nothing we can afford, but let's have a look. Okay, so we can forge and disassemble things. So we got sort of a crafting mechanic, I guess. And yeah, these are things that we can't really use. Wonder what the original Japanese line is. I am not the right person to ask, is all I can say about that. I'm sure that there's somebody out there who knows a lot more about that than anyone else because, well, this game has been kind of picked at quite a bit. What is that emote, Fire Drake? It's spinning. Oh, it's from Tilde's stream. And it is indeed just called Tilda Spin. Nice. That I can appreciate. So obviously this game has been analyzed to death because people are big fans of the original Chrono Trigger. A lot of people are anyway. Obviously not everybody. And I think that some people are like, oh, that's so sacrilegious. And I'm like, it has its moments of dullness. There are reasons why you would not be excited about it, although I do think that in terms of gameplay, it's pretty alright. I enjoy the positional mechanics, maybe because I don't like myself very much, but we'll figure that out as we go, I suppose. And this sequel, obviously, is very strange a lot of the time, to put it nicely. A lot of things don't make a ton of sense. So, like, the fan site Chrono Compendium for the franchise pretty much exists for the specific purpose, originally, of being a place to contain, other than fan work, to contain fan essays trying to explain some of the absolute nonsense that some parts of this game get into. So, I'm just kind of going a lot. I'm sorry. It's a problem with me. I apologize. But yeah, so that should hopefully give you at least a little bit of understanding as to what an absolute clusterfuck this game can kind of be. Let's talk to some more NPCs. Yes, what brings me here is that I live here, sir. Don't be going near Hydra Marshes to the east if you go outside. Fair enough. Run into those evil dwarves and that Hydra. Wow, okay, dude. Nice to see casual racism is a big thing as usual. Or talk to the village chief before he sets out. Yeah, we can do that, because that's Mr. Tutorial Man. Popular among the village girls these days. Monsters that eat fire. Well, most of our elements are white type, so we'll be fine. We shoot lasers instead of setting things on fire. Kid, you're concerned about nothing, trust me. Oh, hey, look, it's somebody else who is 5'7" and weighs less than 100 pounds. And is a professional dancer. So that is not exactly making sense to me because muscles, but let's talk to this person. Oh, I see, it's a fanboy. My dog. Yeah, that's definitely... That is absolutely a chihuahua. Yeah, you're absolutely not talking about her tits or anything, because you're not allowed to say that, right? I'll tell Grandma about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's certainly a chihuahua. A chihuahua mixed with some kind of horrifying reptile, I think. Yes, the sign says Wild Hungry Man. I've never noticed that before, the Wild Hungry Man sign. Apparently, I've just never been paying attention enough. That's pretty fantastic. So is that the name of our chef here? Is Wild Hungry Man? Sir, I'd like to ask you if you're the Wild Hungry Man. Cha cha cha! Why don't try my Hecarim soup? The fuck is a Hecarim? Oh right, that's from Chrono Trigger, and we haven't played that on stream. Lethal, that's not Orcha. You can tell because he's white. I'm sorry. That sounds really, really bad, but yeah, this is definitely, his hair is not red. Family-friendly version of Helrin soup. Soup made exclusively from Hecarim bones. That sounds like slightly underwhelming soup because that just sounds like powder. What exactly is this thing? Is this some kind of crystallized lizard or something? You don't see color, Moon. Yeah, take your sunglasses off, it might help. Wait. There were bones inside us, yeah. Heard anything about the group of thieves up on the mainland? I haven't heard this story. The village Roomba. A little bit, eh? Really haven't been keeping up, have you? Well, I slept in all day. It's pretty big news even in El Nido. Those mysterious thieves have broken into a bunch of houses up on the mainland. They're cold-blooded bastards. They'll go to any extreme to get money or jewels. Even the powerful nation of Poor can't seem to get a hold of them. Well, I don't know what a nation called Poor wants with a bunch of people who are stealing jewels, because why would they bother them? Oh. That's not a very good joke, I'm sorry. They call themselves the Radical Dreamers. Ooh, title drop, almost. And by that, I mean it's a title drop of the game that this is basically an update to. The original Chrono Cross, not specifically this remaster. Looks like the Viper Festival will be cancelled again this year. Only celebration of El Nido Archipelago, down the drain. Has there been anything good to talk about since the Army of Poor took over the islands 3 years ago? We wouldn't have to put up with this situation if General Viper and the Dragoons were still here. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, is it just a snake festival? Why not just have a Cobra festival? But then again, apparently, Do I want to hear the real truth about the world? Yeah, let me log on to Hypnospace and go check out Open-Eyed. Is General Viper a badass? General Viper is pretty cool. We actually get to recruit General Viper into our party at some point. And he's fairly strong. He can kick people's asses. Insanity leads to chaos and to solitude, the fruitless effort of adding meaning to what is meaningless. Lone crimson tear falls into the sea. The echo of the remaining star cries out in the infinite vacuum. You are saying a bunch of weird words that don't make a whole lot of sense to say on islands like this. Is he hot? Not so much. I mean, he's not ugly, but General Viper is a fairly aged individual, but he's not like, you know, Master Roshi kind of. You can find a picture of him. He looks decent for his age, we'll put it that way. Screw this game. I swear there's at least one attractive character in this game. Unfortunately, PS1 models that are slightly upscaled are not going to do them a whole lot of good. I mean, that was It's the cat. Been dreaming about becoming a poet since you were little, huh? Across the continent, make a name for yourself with just a pencil and paper. You're probably going to need a little bit more, especially if the terrain gets rough. I would recommend shoes at bare minimum. Oh. Don't offend the fat cook. They're usually pretty impressive. And that herringbone soup dish may change very soon. I assume that's a little bit like what it looks like inside of any game dev studio, really. It's just a barrel with quotation marks. Which means, yes, we can harangue this barrel a little bit more. What do you want already? I said I'm just a barrel. Fine, just take it, man. Here. Hey, we found an uplift element. That is a very minor reward, but you know what? Okay, game. I'll take a free item anyway. Yeah, that sounds like the noise that my dog makes. Actually, usually it's more of a whenever the bigger dog is barking at the television. On the other hand, that absolutely sounds like the kind of noise that a dog that looks like that would make. I'm just saying, that dog is probably not having the greatest time right now. So we'll shove this uplift onto our grid, because why not? You know, why not have a couple more attacks in case a fight gets really long? It's not liable to get that bad, but why not? Got another entrance over here if we can get over to it properly. Perspective does feel a little bit jank, but you know, it's the PS1 style of flat background with collisions drawn on top of it. A lot of baby Komodo dragons play out there. And you just stole one from its natural habitat. I think you should definitely ask questions about where he sourced those from. And don't bring it up around your little buddy here. Oh, I just wanted to hear what Pokemon noise it made. Komodo dragon skills, yeah. No, we're gonna make a scale bracer with them. This is a string of words, alright. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll is what you're telling me, huh? Look at where we live, my friend. I don't think that most of those are options. Like, do you think anybody here knows what electricity is, let alone how to play an electric guitar? What do you got? You were in the other building, weren't you? Some rocks southwest of the village. And a mother Komodo dragon comes out every once in a while. Gotcha. So, be careful. Oh, is this a cat stable? No, now that is a fish. That is... I don't know what you would call that thing except for fucking terrifying, but I love it. I got the cat. Meow. Does she? Unfortunately, NPC models, you know, it's hard to tell for sure. Here represents 10 years of your life. Especially the skulls with the crazy teeth on them. Lion, shark, soft... Six-horned narwhal? What the fuck? Six-horned narwhals? That sounds fucking rad. But also like something you never want to encounter in your entire life. Y'all got a fish museum somewhere you can put these things in so that way I can take a look at them? Or did nobody actually draw those? Or is that what that thing is supposed to be in the background? Yeah, I was gonna say it's got 6 fins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That little nub in there looks a little bit like a fin. Well, you probably at the very least wouldn't have such a terrifying looking fish drawn into your little room's background, that's for sure. The longer you live, the more you wonder about another you that might have been. Oh, I get it. You're trying to introduce the theme of alternate dimensions here, aren't you? An amulet you made from a lion shark tooth 10 years ago when you decided to become a fisherman. Yeah. Cool. Received shark tooth. So... did you actually do anything to this, or is this just a shark tooth? Okay, you did actually do something to it. Fine. That's a pretty nice looking scale, actually. Although, I'm kind of noticing the compression there a little bit. These haven't been retouched, either. These have just been scaled up. So, they kind of look like JPEGs. Anyway, let's go and see the village elder. So that way he can kick our ass. Hey, you. Be messing with the boats? Yeah, fair enough. Pull any stunts like last time. What? What did we do last time? Is this the way we want to go? I think this is the way we want to go, actually. No, this is the way out of town. Never mind. I'm like, wait a second. The person's talking about boats, so they confused me. There's another area we can go to over there. This is where we were thinking of, right? Because here's our archway. Yeah, here we go. Hey, look, it's a poshul. That's the same poshul, not a different one. I know I said a poshul, but listen. Do I sound like someone who's smart? The answer to that question should be no. We'll handle that in a bit. It's about Poshul. Is she a yellow innate? I think I've heard about that before. Pig, when it comes to eating, she'll do anything if she's fed her favorite dish. Oh, I mean, that's like any dog. So I guess we gotta find a Hecarim bone for this dog at some point. Did everything just as Chief Radius told you. Aches in your body are completely gone. We'll talk to him in a bit once we're done talking to the other NPCs. The Record of Fate tells you not to go out to sea today. Record of Fate, huh? That's a little bit unsettling of a of a sentiment. Ganji, huh? Tell us. I kind of know how to do it, but... Yeah, within talking distance, press the button. The item menu. Yeah, okay. Thanks for the tutorial. Gotta remember that the X button is the square button on here because I'm using a PS4 controller and not an Xbox controller. Yeah. Jerk. Take a look at this shark tooth. No? Darn. Alright, let's check out the man in the white shirt and the long blue tails here. This is Radius. Perhaps it's pronounced Radius. Does he have a brother named Diameter? For the lecture? Sure. Yeah, so here's our combat tutorial that we're going to get from the game, and we're going to see how they explain things, because I'm not exactly good with it, as you've probably seen before. Battle music sounds like they've adjusted a little bit of the balance on things. It's not quite as in-your-face as it was in the original. It's been mixed slightly to be easier on the ears, so points there. Alright, we can see that Radius is a green. I keep thinking Radius is a blue, and it's because he's got, like, a blue undercoat. He's got a blue skirt. But I feel like there's a more technical term than that. And, yeah, we just attempt to bonk him a couple of times, and that's decent success here. Yeah, so we've explained this mechanic already about the differing stages of attacks. Every time you hit your opponent, each of these values increases, making it easier for your next attack to hit its mark. But of course, you have to actually land the hit. And if you change targets, things become a problem. And yeah, build up from weaker attacks to stronger. We're probably not going to do that. Depending on what our numbers look like anyway. And see, he showed us how to do an actual combo. Not so bad. As long as it's not 100%, you still run the risk of missing continuously. Yes, we've discussed that because it doesn't hit 100% as far as I know. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Hey, nice whiff. Give him the big bonk. Hey, get a look at that. Check out the use of elements. Indeed. You use an element, the color of that element's attribute remains on the field in the form of the field effect. This is the thing I was talking about earlier that is wildly overcomplicated and will probably turn a lot of people off their first few times playing it because, yeah, they're too small, huh? Well, that's pretty unfortunate. Damn you, Digimon video games. Not looking out for people who want to edit those graphics for fun. Not surprising, but still. Each time you consecutively use the same color element, the effectiveness of that colored element group increases. Yeah, we didn't really get to see that, especially because battles were super fast earlier. But yeah, as the field starts radiating outward, and he's going to use turn blue. He's going to turn himself blue. So what just happened was, it's a little bit funky because we were looking at blue, green, yellow earlier, and we've gone to green, yellow, blue. But The color of the element that was just used expands out from the middle, and it pushes everything out one stage. And of course, the thing that's on the outside gets erased. So the blue was removed only for blue to appear in the middle of the stage again because, you know, butts. Anyway, he wants us to use a blue element, so we're going to use a cure here, as that is our only blue. I haven't had time, dude. Alright, so he's going to teach us some things. Attack, do some physical damage to your opponent in order to get started. Yeah, this is how, as we said, it charges up our element levels, which are basically like our mana points to cast our elements with. And yeah, we have to actually land a hit. If we whiff, well, then we're fucked. Built up some power, yeah. See, won't. My guy, we just used our only blue. Wait, I'm forgetting something important. It must be my old age. I love the parentheses. Yeah, so here's him teaching us about consumables. And yeah, this explains element levels. This is a thing that I didn't really describe in too much detail. But, okay, yeah, so no, he's telling us about the math. Never mind. So yeah, if we use a level 1 element while we're at level 3, it will just yoink 1 point instead of everything. So, good on them for that one, I guess. Power level up to 2 right after using the tablets. I'll look at that stuff in a bit, probably at like the end of the stream. I used the cure though, sir, so if you're gonna chew me out for fucking this up, that's your fault. Oh, hey, yeah, we can get a dynamic camera if we press the triangle button in this case. Oh man, those different camera angles. Sure, I guess we're gonna throw a tablet at ourselves because we can't use cure. I did what you asked me to. Expect an old man to do everything for you. You slacker! And blue field. We might be stuck in a feedback loop here, everybody. Alright, I think we managed to advance this a bit. Field is completely blue. Yes, any blue element we use is going to get a boost. Ah, here we go. He's going to throw a ball at us. Ooh, squish. And of course, since Radius massively outlevels us, he just one-shot us with his Aqua Ball. And yes, this is a thing that I forgot. If the element field, if the field is all blue, for example, the opposite color, red, will be weakened. So that's a fairly good way of setting up a defense against certain enemies, is just to spam the same element over and over, or to just keep bonking them with your physical attacks. Hey, he revives us for free. For 3! Wait. Oh, we only have 7 HP. We do keep our element points, so at least there's that. We can't cure, even though it's still showing the thing in the same color on the HUD. That's a little crusty. And he just hit us real hard. I guess I should probably have shown him that uplift and seen if it had actual damage to it, but nope. I thought there were more turns than that. Well. Oh well. He gave us a tutorial. And now we understand everything. Oh wait. Hey you. Dome of the 14th. People usually put the Great Explorer in front of your name, huh? That's the thing added the title for him, right? You have a sixth sense, right? Either that or a metal detector. You weren't gardening? You were really looking for treasure? Sir, I believe you were pissing in the bush. So... I mean, you can tell me whatever you want. Want to record what you've done so far? Step up to a record of fate and open the menu. Yes, these are our save points. I could swear that... You're gonna be here for a while, huh? You can save without a record of fate on the world map. Helpful. Gotcha. So there's a hint system for if you, there's a hint system for when you take long breaks. Good. Someone always forgets their pin. The line for the save points is shaking my SMH. I am definitely shaking my SMH lethal. I mean, Radius will probably stay here until he dies, right? Is that how it's gonna go? What do you got, Chief? Chief is that? Yeah. I probably shouldn't call you Chief because we just talked to the Chief. Trying to persuade Sir Toma to look for treasure on the Xenon continent. Unfortunately, I think a lot of that has already been found, my friend. That was in Chrono Trigger. If you want that story, you gotta wait for the prequel. That kid just jumped off the pier. Huh. Person's... oh, not asleep anymore. Yeah, I mean, the weather's pretty nice. And the sea is okay. Just don't drink it. Because, you know, fish pee in there. Not because it's salty or anything. Although, drinking too much salt water is probably not a good idea either. Oh yeah, I've heard about boating accidents before. Also, Toma's pee in there. Yeah. Well, I thought he was just pissing in the bush. Maybe he is. I guess if he came here from the mainland, then it's very possible that he had to go off the side of the boat, right? Listen, what else are you supposed to do in a situation like that, especially when you're drunk as shit, because I'm going to make the assumption that, much like some of his ancestors, Toma the 14th drinks like a fish. To sense the mood of the sea, huh? Does the sea have a mood? We'll just roll with it. Hey, you look like you're in a little higher... Oh, well, I was going to say, you look like you're a little higher quality of model, so I bet you're plot relevant. Hi, Lena. Yes, we slept in. And yes, it took us an hour to get here. I'm sorry. No, it only took us like 40 minutes. Listen, I had to comment on a lot of things about this remaster, because I'm going to be picking it apart in some parts. Oh, well, they seem to be taking care of themselves. Don't swim too far out to sea, boys. I was told to break you in an alternate translation. God. Oh, man. Classic. I can't believe... You know, in some respects, I can't believe that that was a thing to begin with, and now I can't believe that they changed it. Oh, that kid is totally not listening to us. I don't know about that, Lena. Newness, fun, and excitement. You're like 15. I know that in a, you know, traditional rural fishing village like that, I almost said filling village. That's not... That's a strange... That's a turn of phrase, all right. Oh, you really want those dragon scales? Hmm? You got a lot of Kingdras to evolve. Seedras to evolve, rather. Go to Lizard Rock and get some scales for you. Ah, God damn it. I already farmed Scales of Dominion. I don't want to do it again. There's no point. If you equip 2 of them, it breaks anyway. Oh, you want Komodo Dragon Scales. Pardon me. I think 3 should be enough. I'm curious if that one that we got from the kid is going to be of any value, or if we just got to go and... Oh, what is that icon that showed up after I clicked the left stick? I think that was turning no encounters on and off. Which reminds me, I should see what these battle boosts, or whatever they're called, are. At Cape Howl, this is a place where we can get some plot, I think. We might not be able to access this proper for a bit. Oh, look at that big boy. Trying to heal. I'm going to turn this on, just in case we get into a fight. Found a bone. Oh, it's a proper, like, @ sign now. I know that it was basically intended to be such in the original, but now it's just literally an @ sign. Going at me, etc. Unfortunately, we can't see our inventory of those until we go to a smithy, so... And I don't mean the boss from Super Mario RPG. What's it say up here? Oh. It says... Actually, that was a screen transition. Surgeon Lena forever. Hmm. You know, I wonder if we changed her name, if that inscription would change. By the way, spoiler alert, we can get her in our party. And she's actually shockingly decent. Like, you'd think, oh, she's the basic love interest. She's gonna be either just a generic healer or mediocre in some regard. But she's actually, like, a fairly strong caster, if I recall correctly. Like, not the best or anything. She still has to compete with, like, Razlee and Guile and people like that, but not bad. Oh, hey, we can just push this rock sideways. What kind of Animu is this? Yeah, I know, right? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Let's turn this on and see what happens real quick. as we get into a fight with I think this is called a beach bum, this enemy. We'll see in a second. Oh, you brought some friends, didn't you? Yeah, we got a beach bum, we got some sand squirts. Yeah, this music goes pretty hard, huh? Like, more than battle music necessarily needs to. Ah, yes, I do love these sub-turns. Nothing's gonna get hit too hard by this. So, yeah, look at that perfectly square of rock that's ripped out of the crust. This is definitely something that was made for PS1, huh? Yeah, this is definitely, the beach theme was, once we go back to hearing it again, absolutely a jam. The whole soundtrack is really good, in my opinion. Like, one of the best on the PS1, which is saying a lot because there's a ton of good soundtracks for the PS1. Okay, so I think our battle buffs thing is basically just infinite HP and infinite element power, because I think our element recovered immediately, and we even started with level 3 element. And our HP recovered after we got slam dunked a minute ago, I believe. So that's something we probably will not do unless things get so dire that I'm like, I don't feel like planning anymore. And if that's the case, I will absolutely try to explain how to strategize against certain things anyway. Dario's boss fight is one that can be a little bit asinine, if I recall correctly. I think it's Dario's boss fight. It's the one that gets you the Master Mune, or the one that gets you the dual Einlancers later on. I'm pretty sure both of them kind of suck, actually. But again, we will deal with that when the time comes. And you can see we've got a Komodo pup now. This is how we're going to get our scales, is by just murdering things. This is exactly what I come to expect out of video games, is just, you know, murdering innocent, wall-eyed animals for our beloved, right? I mean, look at this thing. This is like if you made the Roadrunner look even goofier. Click the stick real quick. I was going to say, does that recover our HP immediately? But it does not appear to. I think we're just going to say fuck the accuracy checks and chuck a rock. Ooh, bonk! Yep, see, that's how you... You see, it's because rock is strong against flying. Hey, we got 2 fangs and another bone. Just a random bone and a couple of teeth. Yoink! And yeah, this music, as far as I know, has not been really futzed with in any appreciable way. At most, the drums have been made a little bit louder, but even that I don't think is actually the case. So, whatever messing with the music that's happened is fairly minimal. Oh, also, you can see these little icons to see the monster's sex. That's a thing that will actually come in handy at some point, but is not going to be for most of the time. So let's huck a rock at this thing real quick. go ahead and just cure now, because why not? It won't become relevant once we start breaking in monsters. You're enjoying that turn of phrase a lot, Lethal, and to be fair, I mean, it's kind of funny in a way. But yeah, it's relevant for a select few characters at most, and that's about it. Yeah, let's remember that we cure after battle, you goober. Me being the goober in this case. Oh, was there some screen tearing there, or was I just hallucinating? There were some people who were saying that there were screen tearing issues too, but to this point I haven't really noticed them if they've been a thing. Although if they are, that's pretty unfortunate. Because this feels like a game where screen tearing should not be a phrase that we even dare to say, but maybe a large part of that is because that's not really a thing in PS... Well, I mean, there's definitely some PS1 games that have screen tearing, but in RPG? Alright, so... if we circle around this goofus... Oh no, that's one way, okay. I want to get down to that treasure chest, actually. But I think that to do that, we're going to have to... come in from a different screen. But you can see at this area, we're basically trying to deal with only a few specific encounters here, and we have to corner these goofy-looking chicken monsters to get their scales. Oh, that just let us out. That goes to Apasa Beach. I don't think that's where we need to go just yet. Clearly not. Going back down to the previous screen. Where do you go from here? Go down here. Water. Water? Yeah, I guess Tidus we ain't, huh? What a sad state of affairs. We gotta look on Tidus favorably, right? Final Fantasy X, what a game, huh? Nope. Definitely not. Oh, that was a silly attack animation. Let's not just try to go for a kill with Uplift. Let's see if we can actually fight this thing to death, and then we can use a cure at the end of battle and not have to look at our HP like, oh, that's not full. Just mash the button and stack all the attacks. Hey. This goofus. And hey, look, it's an encounter that we've seen before already. Actually, if you're going to interrupt my turn like that and you're going to ruin my accuracy, well, let's do this. Oh, it's not dead yet. Wow, okay. That's better. That's what we like to see. And a damn hit. Oh god, I almost called him Titus. If I just sit here calling Surge Titus the entire game, I'm gonna feel like it. A damn fool. But it won't be the stupidest thing I've ever said on stream, that's for sure. Can we... Got him! If only, right? Well... I at least think that it's not to zero end, so there's that going for it, but I do agree that he is not a likable character for most of the game. Can we just... Yeah, so we can set up to mostly just chuck a rock at this thing. Ooh, bonk. Oh, okay, so it's not hold the R2, it's press it to toggle on and off. Neat. That said, I feel like there are worse characters in 10 than Titus. I mean, he could be Waka. Hey, we found a silver wolf. Wait. I think that's supposed to be like a loop, like an actual thing. Oh, okay, we can see our chunks in the accessories menu. The silver loop, this increases our hit percentage. I am all for that. Because, good gracious. Hit percentage in this game, the fact that it's as bad as it is in terms of accuracy sometimes. Oof. Oofa doofa. Alright, so we should look around for some sort of interactable, I guess. Oh, jump in the hole. A warp pipe. That was just silly looking. Okay, game. Thank you for coming in, everybody. This shouldn't be too hard to fight. It's just... Okay, it's 2 beach bums and a sand squirt. Chuck rocks. Let's see if this fast forward works outside of battle. Yes, it does. And it works probably even a little better outside of battle. Or at least it's certainly more effective. Got an ivory helmet. As we all know, headwear are accessories, so let me try hitting the right buttons here. Can we equip that? Yes. That gives us stats. I saw it gave us some strength, it looked like, so that's nice. Hey, we open a treasure chest and just find a random bone. That's 6 tusked narwhal. Yeah. I mean, listen, we don't know where that thing came from, or, well, I guess we don't know where it came from, but we certainly don't know where it went. That's what I meant to say, but that seems like a fair enough assertion that it would disappear into the entire ivory stock for this entire section of the world. And this is back out to the world map, yeah. Oops. Oh, hey, we can just walk to North Lizard Rock like this. Remember that, you idiots. Sorry. I thought we were going to be on the other side of the map. It shows you how much attention I'm paying right now. The answer is not enough. Okay, so here's how we get to this chest. I can finally see these little staircases here. Thanks a lot, buddy. I had a little bit of lag there. And see, that's very not consistent, is my thing with this. Again, to reiterate a thing that I said earlier in the stream, some people were saying, oh yeah, well, the frame rate was not very consistent in the original for the PS1, and I mean, what I'm about to say is going to sound incredibly stupid, but it was consistently inconsistent, if that makes any sense. Spoiler alert, it probably doesn't, but it's the idea of, like, if it slowed down in specific places because of... Oh. I accidentally hit the spacebar with my knuckle. It slowed down in specific places because of too much on screen, or things like that. Meanwhile, this... like, that fight has never caused any slowdown before. But this time it did. And I guarantee you, the next time I get into it, I will not have that slowdown. So... you know? Alright, so is this just a case where we can just run after this thing? Otherwise, I don't quite see where the thing that we interact with in order to stop this is. But we're catching up to it. Okay. Got him! And rock to the head. Crunch. Nice. Oh. Not so nice. You probably shouldn't have done that, Surge. It's a Mama Komodo. Oh, froggy. That looks a little bit like a frog, I suppose. Froggy! Looking good, buddy! I have a copy of Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast. I should play that sometime. I have a copy of Sonic Adventure DX for the GameCube, too, but people's opinions about that one seem to be a little more mixed. Anyway, this is not a hard fight, is it? This is just mash things out. I shouldn't even feel bad about wasting that uplift. Yep, especially when we get a crit like that for 28 damage. Well, I'm not sure if what we did is terrible or not, but we did it nonetheless. And here's our level up system, are these stars. It says reach a new growth level. So whatever micro level stats that we missed out on are permanently gone, I believe. But this game is not super hard 90% of the time, so we can probably get away with that. Also, now that we have a star, technically we could use a summon element if we had one. But we would need to be able to fit it into our element grid, and we need to actually have it. We're getting a tax form. So every single year, you read this one address as one dark place. That sounds like quite an address, that's for sure. Hey, 17 HP. And yeah, we'll go ahead and use that cure. We managed to dig a lot of bones and a tooth out of that big Mama Komodo. Grab that Komodo scale, and now we just have to make sure that we never, ever tell Lena what happened. That's Cape Howell. We need to go to town. I was gonna say, is it actually one dank place? Wait. That would be very silly. Oh, and there goes the kid who wants to be a blitzball when he grows up. Oh, right. We gotta go wait for you at the beach. Sure, let's have a look at some elements here. Happy birthday! That sounds like us, all right. So I'm gonna grab... I don't need 11 of these. I'm gonna grab 2 aqua beams. I'm gonna grab a fireball. I'm gonna grab another cure. I'm gonna grab 10 of these tablets. And we'll grab 2 each of medicines and antidotes. We probably will not need those for a bit, but just in case. We're hanging on to our cash for a second to go check the blacksmith shop and see if there's anything useful here to deal with. We don't have any scales, so we can't get any ivory mail. No ivory vest either. Ivory helmet. We need screws for that. Well, screw you too, game. So I guess we're gonna grab ourselves a couple more consumables. Again, just to have them stockpiled, because odds are I'm just gonna tough that shit out most of the time, but just in case. Let's go with 8 each. That should cover any emergencies if we happen to run into Viridian Forest. And 20 tablets will probably do us for a bit. The cure element by itself will save us a lot of heartbreak when it comes to using that shit, so it's probably not too big of an issue. But hey, better safe than sorry or something. Let's go ahead to Apasa Beach and go and wait. Yeah, remember, you just saw me, right? Well, I guess this makes up for the fact that we slept in now, doesn't it? I only beat up, like, what was it, 6 baby lizards and the mama? Oh, plus I got a 4th, by the way. I don't know if you want anything with that. The key item doesn't really give you the preview doesn't give you a good sense of scale, but maybe you can make an eye patch out of it and you could become a pirate. You are a pirate, etc. Which is not intended to be taken as advice concerning the quality of this game. Although, to be fair, if you wanted to, I wouldn't blame you. The sea never changes. I don't know so much about that. I mean, there's tides, and even then sea levels rise and fall. amount of fish you're in, you know. I mean, I guess it'll probably always be there, but... And the exact same words? Probably. What's that weird carriage return doing hanging out there? I actually don't remember, but I'll say I do because that's what you're supposed to say, you know, right? No, I totally haven't. It feels kind of nice. Oh wait, no, that's Psycho Mantis, even without the voice. Yeah, I mean, I try to remove every single memory of any failure I've had in my life, but it never fucking works. I just dwell on everything forever. Kinda hurts. Probably not. Well, there's a lot of kinds that I can hope you're not, that's for sure. Well, apparently you'll be broken in, so... We remembered the day from when we were kids, so maybe we won't remember... Maybe we won't forget this one. With the corals above the ground... above sea level. Above ground level. I mean, that's true, too. Yeah, you hearing a voice in the back of your head? You hear that voice? It sounds like someone we don't know for sure. It sounds like a sudden transition into late 90s FMV. Oh god, suddenly the drugs are kicking in. Surge, what have I told you about DMT? Why that one, I don't know, but it sort of came to mind. Don't insert a bean. If you're a cool teen. I've just been rewatching that recently, too. God, Hypnospace Outlaw is such a good game. There's gonna be a sequel soon, too! What are you doing there, boy? It's dangerous to sleep out here. Yeah, I kinda... What am I doing lying down? Body washed ashore. Oh shit, we're on the beach? Oh, this must be the post-nut clarity kicking in. It's good to see that we've still got the coral hanging out above sea level. In the village babysitting. Nobody seems to know who we are. That's strange. And by nobody, I mean this one person, who is now a nobody, I suppose. Not in the Kingdom Hearts sense. That would be really weird. Although, I mean, some parts of this game, in terms of the writing and complexity, would make Tetsuya Nomura very full of feelings of inadequacy. What the fuck are these? Ooh, treasure chest. Found a feather! Am I to assume all these treasure chests have respawned? Not this one, that's for sure. It's clearly sawfish. Well, I guess something in this world has to be a sawfish, right? Oh, I was trying to dodge. But I didn't do it very well. I see we got some sea squirts and... Sea squirts, I mean sand squirts. And an opa fish. It's a red innate. And it looks incredibly bored. Which I find hilarious. Oh, what? No kill? I kills the weird red fish in one hit. It's good to see that our typical solution of big fucking rocks still works on everything. Apparently they're full of teeth, or scales. Their chest here. And it's just a place to dodge to. A high-speed jerkfish. First, rock. Bonk. Well, they got less than 30 HP, that's for sure. Oh, neat. We got some defense and some magic resistance. Always good things to have. And a bone. This time the Komodo pup gets to drop on us. I feel like it was appropriate to have that happen to us, by the way, just for the amusement, because clearly we're in a different universe, right? Oh, oops, spoilers. And yeah, I'm going to be trying to speed up the battles as much as possible, unless it's new enemies or a boss. At least from here on out, just because I feel we've at least gotten a decent idea of what this stuff is like. So how many times do you need to see the same battle at full speed? But I'm going to try to avoid going into no encounters mode because, like, hey, that's most of the gameplay of the game gone then. What else do I have? Arranging my element grid? Got another ivory helmet. Can we wear 2 ivory helmets at once? No. Damn. I was hoping it would be funny. Come on, it would be. Rock. I'm just saying rock type is pretty strong in general in Pokemon games. At least on offense. On defense, not so much. Yeah, the audio tracks on this are adjusted again, too. Hey, you. Yeah, Chief. You don't recognize me? Well, okay. Yeah, it's a nicer cart you've got going. Let's have a look at these elements. They're the same as the other shop. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Bracelets made from rainbow shells, huh? Real fast. Of a change. Hey, you. Nothing about breaking your in, huh? Hey, I know about boats. Kind of. First time becoming a man in the sea, just like a man. It's praying to that silly looking doll day and night, huh? Ooh, it sounds like a real tragedy befell the village. Oh, that's kind of sad. Let's have a look at what's going on down here. This is a little freaky. Excuse me. And the graphics really make this dude stick out a little more. No answer. It seems to just be a straw doll. Hi, cat. You felt a beam of light from Lasery the cat. Not! Yeah, I've seen Wayne's World as well. What do you got here? A sacred liquor roof. Look at the cat. Oh, that was an incredibly silly animation. What about you? You got anything for us? An aura of longevity from Ori the cat. Psst, we got electrocuted, apparently. You got anything about this skull? It's a pretty freaky looking skull, man. Yeah, you just finished praying? It's called Mojo. It's a good luck charm from the Far East. Well, these cats are from the 90s. You are correct. Feel the love and affection oozing from it? Well, I don't see ooze involved, that's for sure. What do you think this is? A Squishers of some kind? An amazing messenger of love and courage with a big fucking nail through its chest. Think about it, my brother. Brother! Our everyday lives are controlled by uncertainty and fear. Our spent yesterdays and our uncertain tomorrows. How we live a meaningless today. This holy item filled with prayers protects and supports us. Maybe you? I don't think it's doing nothing for me. Within Mojo. Mojo Jojo. What if we try to, like, take it? Is this an adventure game thing? Come on. Nothing else to check in this room? I don't think we get this dude yet, but there is a way to actually get Mojo, and he's not like a super powerful party member or anything, but he is black innate, and he makes a nice filler for the early parts of the game. Basically, until Guile becomes usable. No offense to anybody who's a Guile fan, but Guile is definitely a late game character. And we're gonna try to pick Guile when we get to the point where we pick that character. Yeah, boats, outsiders. Your mother. What if I show him the shark tooth, actually? I should try that out. Oh, hey, look, it's a Japanese rock star. I need to sneeze. Pardon me. Nicky from the Magical Dreamers. Oh, is he named after the guy from Motley Crue? Nicky was named Slash in the Japanese version, of course named after Saul Hudson from Guns N' Roses. Japan, and especially like their circle of rock music, I'm pretty sure they absolutely fucking love Guns N' Roses. Which is weird because I can really only imagine Axl Rose, especially at this time, or a couple of years before, being faced with his Japanese fans and looking at their more visual K style and being... he would say words that got Trihex banned on this website. We'll put it that way. Axl Rose in the 90s, and especially the 80s, was not exactly a good dude. I hear he's a lot less of that kind of asshole, but on a personal level, maybe not necessarily the sort of person who's easy to make a friend with, even still. Although, he did reconvene with Slash and tour in the 2010s, and that may still be an ongoing thing, so, you know, maybe he really did mellow out with age. Anyway, Nicky Slash's design is based off of Hide, birth name Hideto Matsumoto, who was the guitarist of the band X Japan, and is kind of considered to be one of the biggest deals when it comes to that sort of visual rock style that they were assembling in Japan in the 90s. At the time that this game had come out, though, Hide had just died like a year ago. So it does, at least I feel like it's supposed to be a tribute, and then you look at the fact that they still did the thing with the weights and height numbers that were with him with every other character. And I need to point out that this is something that is absolutely known, that Hide suffered from bulimia, so it does feel a little bit questionable in that regard, at least to me. But I admit to being an oversensitive ninny, so meh. As luck would have it, Nicky is holding a concert in the port town of Termina. There is a heaven on earth. It pays to live to an old age. Laying it on a little thick. Tell Gramps about... What would he care? Is this the same group of thieves? I've never heard. Here's thieves. Yeah, this is the same story. Call themselves the Radical Dreamers. They sound like a bunch of 90s folks. Oh, I see the Viper Festival is still on. They're gonna have a famous traveling band there. Lead guitarist and vocalist. Yeah, as I said before, Hide was a guitar player. Also sang a lot in his solo projects. He actually was in a project with Paul Raven, who was the bass player for Killing Joke when Killing Joke was popular briefly. Popular in air quotes in the late 80s for the album Nighttime. Paul Raven died in the early 2000s. I'm very sad that I never got to see this group, but of course I would have been 9 at the time that Hide passed on, so Poems, yeah. We know about that because we're from another dimension. Just assume it was a real guess. Just a guess, right? In a little cafe in the middle of nowhere. We live in the middle of nowhere in this tiny village, leading small lives. Nothing's ever going to change no matter how hard you try. That's just the reality of it all. Jeez. It's a little bit how I feel. I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. Do you have anything to say, or can I not reach you? No, apparently not. Well, we can harass this pot just like we harassed the barrel earlier. What do you got for us? We found an ice lance. We don't really have a place for that in our grid, but that is a blue element, so that could be potentially useful. I was gonna say that area seems to be blocked off, but no, there's a door. Hi, cat. Alright, so let's go and... El Nido Triangle down south. Everyone says it's really creepy over there. Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle. We get it. Seen a huge glowing egg down at the bottom of the sea. What? That's a weird thing to say. Hasn't rained in a bit. Permanent Knights are still digging that hole. We'll find out about that more later, I'm sure. Hey, look, it's a dog with a very ill-sounding bark. Oh, our mother isn't here. This is our room. Take a look at this. What are you doing here, man? This is my island. And here's a place where we can rest. Resting restores all of the stars that you've spent in order to cast summon elements, so that's not a thing that we have to worry about. And of course... Oh, he charges us afterwards. What a dick. Listen, I'm not opposed to paying, I just would like to know up front that there's an actual fee. Oh, hey, you. This is the place I used to live, apparently, dude. Marge? You've never heard of Marge Simpson? Well, I hope your name's not Homer. That's fine. Oh, so we're... Yeah, I guess we're speaking a lot of nonsense. Some really weird shit is going on here. But like I said, another world and all that is, in fact, I believe, where we are, even though this is the prime timeline. Oops, spoilers. Yeah, we'll go deal with that in a second. Cat. Lived next door, was terrified of cats. It was more than 10 years ago. Attacked by a panther demon when he was very young. Well, we did see that creepy cat eye when we had our acid flashback, right? So maybe that was here. Keep out and beware of mad Hecrins. Embarked on a long journey. Oh, Poshul is embarking on a journey now. Embarking. Because she's a dog. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh yeah, you're just here to tell me about the Bermuda Triangle. What do you got, Chief? That dude wants a big fish, apparently. Got a cat here. But no Radius today, huh? No Toma pissing in the bushes. Line for the save point, as per usual. Mermaid dance show, huh? Chief Ganji. Okay, so in the other world, Radius was the chief, but Ganji is continued to be the chief here, and apparently he's a bit of a dick. So where's Radius then? That's weird. I wonder if he's still out traveling the world. Then again, we didn't get a ton of background on Radius, so we can't technically draw any real conclusions here. I mean, I've played this game a couple of times before, so I know a few things, but... yeah. Today we will all return to the Mother Sea, embraced by her lullaby. Yeah, whatever you say, Chief. Nah, you're not the Chief, I shouldn't call you that again. Or you don't recognize me? Am I from Termina? Do I look like I come out of fucking Majora's Mask? Eh? Oh, you relax, kid. Oh, actually do go swimming out further. Go meet a shark player and have a bad time. Not like the boy who used to live next door to you, huh? What was his name? Why do I want to know his name? It could be important. Maybe I know him. That boy died. Drowned when he was very young. Sorry about the loud clunk. I just bonked the microphone with my controller by accident. Yeah, because I'm surely going to do that on purpose. I say proceeding to do it on purpose. Like some kind of asshole. His name was... Serge? I was gonna guess Jeffrey. I wasn't very far off. Hey, I got something real fucked up to tell you, Lena. My name's Serge, too. That's not even funny. The boy is dead. Don't you understand? No, apparently. I guess you kind of liked him. Well, he'd get sucked into an alternate dimension where he died. Like, Serge is going to come back. Yeah, you say so? Well, on lost loved ones, huh? You find his grave up on Cape Howell. While. Got some shit to do. Alright, well. Fair enough. I'm gonna go back and revisit Mojo real quick. And see if the dude is interested in our shark tooth or something. By the way, look at how hard to play this becomes. This from the controls going absolutely apeshit. Hey dude, you like this shark tooth? Tooth from a ferocious lion shark. Look at the size of this thing. Judging from the size, this baby must have been a good 15 feet. That's a big fucking tooth, dude. Oh, you meant... Tell me you're the one who caught it. Nah, that was you, Chief. You say? Another me? Colonel! So the other me who became a fisherman asked you to give this to me? What are you talking about? There's only one me. How can there be another me out there? What, you think this is the weirdest thing that's gonna happen to you today, sir? Sure, there was a point in my life when I thought about becoming a fisherman. It was a good 10 years ago. But I couldn't do it. I gave up that path right then and there. I just gave up. I don't care what you say. This is the path I chose, and I don't regret it. Besides, you can't just change the way you live in the blink of an eye. They sure expect you to a lot of the time in real life, my dude. Now, would you please put that thing away and leave me alone? Well, fine. Hey, Mojo, you want the shark tooth? I think it'll look pretty good on you. Come on. Take the damn shark tooth. No. De nada. Apparently, that is not that useful except for getting a little bit more flavor text. Well, that's kind of a shame. So, Fossil Valley South. I guess we could look at that if we want to. Hydra Marshes over here, right? And this is just a finger of land. It's the Peninsula of Power Leveling. Unfortunately, there are no encounters on the overworld. So instead, let's go to Cape Howell and see what's going on. Yeah, this is where we got the beach bums, but they are using bigger models than usual. And this one's gone, so we can take this treasure chest for free and just get a bone. Hey, we got boned. Electro Jolt. That might be a little more powerful than the fucking rock that we have right now. What's this thing look like? Shocks foes with an well, one target actually. Shocks foe with an electrical discharge. So we're going to overwrite uplift with that, and we're going to put uplift at level 1. And let's go up and see our gravestone and have a bit of a mental freak out, probably. There's some writing on the tombstone. Rest in peace, our beloved Surge died age 7. Nobody can take anything away from him, nor can anyone give anything to him. What came from the sea has returned to the sea. And this is where we'd be sitting here, like, screaming our head off, grabbing our head, like, "Whoa!" in, like, any other game. It's be the ghost of the boy who died 10 years ago, Surge. Oh, look at these nerds. No use. It's no use! There's no escape that way. All you have to do is come with us. Who the fuck are you guys? No, seriously. But Zerkarsh, do you think it's truly true that this chap is a ghost? He seems like a perfectly perfect young boy to me. That doesn't matter. We found the boy here just as he said we would, didn't we? Now seize him! Hold your seahorses. Oh boy, it's you again. That crusty 90s FMV. It looks really bad, by the way, too. Like, worse than it did in the original. I'm noticing that it's, like, very fuzzy and it kind of, yeah. Like, it's questionably upscaled. Who the... Kick him in the nards, kid. Out of the way, Missy! You don't want to get hurt now, do you? She'll be fine. You have a problem? Do you have a shaken idea who you're dealing with, Missy? That's enough! Listen up, Junior. Our orders are to take you in. We don't want to hurt you, just come with us. Sure, you guys... Can you at least give me some lunch or something? Or else, this axe of mine will have to do the talking. Oh no, we're getting into a boss fight with just the two of us. I believe it's possible to recruit Poshul by this point, and if you do that, the stumpy fellow kicks Poshul in the cutscene, which is kind of terrible, but also really, really funny. Oh look, there's the... Are they Thundercats? No, they're green and yellow. Salt and Pepper. Yeah, we're getting their names now. Well, the two goons on the side are just goons, so let's go ahead and let's beat up Karsh a little bit. I asked you a question, and you did not answer. Alright, so we can see that Kid is starting out with no elements, because that makes perfect sense. Oh, look, and Twigman missed. Sir, his innate element color attribute, I'm saying far too many words here, is white. Right, that does it. Quick, attack him with the opposite color with the opposite thingy-doer, black. How unfortunately unfortunate, I do not seem to have any, sir. Your friend is named Pepor, he'd probably be more likely to have them, right? You nincompoop! You should always carry elements of every color. Then, how about you there? I'm shaking in my shoes to tell you this, sir, but I don't have any either. We'll have to let you, Sarkar, show us how it's done. Ah! Useless fools! Real men don't need magic when they can fight with their axes. As Pepor actually lands a hit on us, meanwhile Karsh is doing some semblance of damage. I gotta give him some credit. But I also am going to fill him with like 200 volts. Which isn't a lot, but he's green innate, so it's gonna at least do a decent chunk of damage to him, relatively speaking. Oh, the whiff. We're gonna defend. You actually have shit in your inventory. You do. Wow. I'm impressed. I thought she didn't have anything, but it's just the way the interface looks, because I forgot how that thing. Alright, hey Karsh, catch. Balls! Possibly made of fire. Wow, I'm surprised Salt can hit anything. Of course, he used the butt end of the spear, so that may have been the thing that gave him the advantage. What am I doing? I should just defend. Let my stamina recover some more. Yeah, so this is a thing that often has to happen in a case like this, where we just have to sit here and sandbag a couple of turns while we let our stamina recover. Meanwhile, we can feed him a big fucking rock. Bonk. Nice 30 damage there. I see that +2 is doing absolutely jack diddly shit for us earlier. And he is down for the count. Meanwhile, Salt and Pepor are not really much to concern ourselves with in any real way. I mean, they're going to do a little bit of damage, but who gives a shit? They're goofballs who are this... They're the fat and skinny pair, and they're named after, you know, condiments. They're clearly joke characters. If these guys can do any significant damage to us, I'll be shocked. Just like Karsh was when I filled him with Electro Jolt. It's just like the Plasmid, right? Wait. Wrong franchise. Sorry. Meanwhile, Salt's got a bit of a stomachache, so we're going to let Kid deal with him. That way Surge can beat on the other guy a little bit more. Clobber him. It's clobbering time! Hey! He's down. Oh, they either added or mixed forward. I guess it probably is more likely to be mixing forward an extra layer of vocals in the background of that. That's kind of cool. Hey, gained a star. Surge gains a little bit of HP, some defense. And Kid gains 14 HP and 1 strength. Alright, so where'd the cure get used? Oh, Surge just used it on himself. What a clown. Hey, we got a power glove. It's so bad. And an ivory vest. And a piece of copper. That's okay. We're not going to be seeing Kid for a while after we're done with this. Oh, and Salt just bailed the fuck out immediately. These are the ordinary brats we're dealing with. Damn cowards. As for you, Missy, we won't forget this. Oh, I think the other two already have. Ooh, yeah, you're real scary. Thanks a lot, Scout. Scout. I've been punched by worse. We're leaving the names as default. I could change it, and it could be humorous, but meh. Just want to be called Kid. What a name. Makes you think I know. Screw it. I mean... No, I have to refuse her a bunch of times in order to get her to fuck off. Hang on! Are you sure you actually want to do this? Lonely vulnerable... You have a fucking dagger. You are... nothing like that. I'm not interested in you. I said I don't want you in my damn party. I don't know, you sound more and more like you're trying to threaten me, so get out of here. I'm sorry, but I would rather have Lena in my party. You complain? Up north to a town called Termina. Hecarim bait, huh? We killed the Hecarim in regular Chrono Trigger. Maybe they're a whole species or something. I don't know. Yep, and we're back. Hi, Poshul. We're only kind of a ghost. Well, maybe we're just someone else who happens to be named Surge. Yeah, so she's a sympathy party member, I guess. She's got to do some shit in Termina, so... Gee, that sounds a little contrived, or something. Yay! Music is a different one here. They're using the regular battle victory theme instead of the boss victory theme, I think. Hey, we got a dog. We got a Poochie. We got a Poshul. The first level badge for this on Steam is Poshul, so I think I have to get that and then never upgrade it ever again. Poshoo, full speed ahead, apparently. Let's take a look at y'all's elements here. What have you got going for it? Oh, right, she doesn't have anything to start with. She's got a set of things, though. She's got a nicer looking element grid than we do, I think. Oh, never mind. We got a slot this time. So let's shove the Ice Lance in there. I suppose we should probably stock up at the shop, but first let's equip everybody with their thing. A large spoon made from bone. Good for smacking children's bottoms, too. What a phrase. The spatula CA20. Made of calcium. Pure calcium. She is the Calcium Crusader. And she gets an ivory mail. Wow, she can use full-on armor. Neat. And over here in her accessories, we can give her an ivory helmet. That's only 1 power, but it is something that I might consider. I should give that to Poshul, actually. Yeah, Poshul has minimal magic, but yeah. There you go. Poshul, get yourself a power glove. I don't care how bad it is, take the power glove. Hey, Poshul, is this thing related in any way? That would be very strange. Yeah, let's stock up on a couple of elements. I mean, again, it's mostly the sort of scrub level stuff, but we'll take it anyway. We'll grab 1 more cure. Grab some fireballs. Grab another aqua beam. I think we're good to go on that one for now. So we can go ahead and go into allocating some elements. Poshul, why don't you take yourself a cure? Fireball. You know, if I was smart, I would equip Poshul with, like, the actually useful stuff that is in her color. And that is what I'm gonna do. So I almost called him Titus again. Titus, you take that. You take the take the other thing. That way Poshul can have an uplift at level 2. And can also have an Electro Jolt at level 3. Meanwhile, guess what? You're getting a lot of aqua beams, Lena. So that way you can hurt people better. And that is a setup. We can reduce that ivory vest, I think. So we might be able to get a little bit of cash out of that. Hopefully. Yeah, so that doesn't actually give us any money. Never mind. I was wrong. Alright, so I guess we need to head around Terminal Way then or something, right? But first, I'd really like to go and investigate if I can get hold of Mojo. Try the Komodo scale? You want this? I mean, we've seen this thing before, my dude. Okay, so I've forgotten how to do this. Give me just a second here. I am going to Alt-Tab for just a moment. Let me go and take a quick look at this and make sure that I'm not being a dumbass. Yeah, not more than usual anyway. That doesn't look complete. Thanks, guy. Okay, so sound is popping back in. What happened is that I showed him the shark tooth necklace too early for it to really matter, so I'm gonna give this to him, and he's gonna give us the same fucking spiel as last time. And this time around, because we're actually able to recruit people, I think this is when Mojo is going to try to join us. And Mojo's going to tell him to suck it up and to become a fisherman. Because hanging out in a basement and praying all day is not necessarily the healthiest of behaviors. There we go.
Boogum! Hold on a second there! What was that? Love is always in the air. It's just that no one notices.
I don't know why this is the voice I'm making for Mojo. As Mojo just pries himself off the wall. The art looks kind of cute, a lot more so than in the original.
I am Mojo, and I bring good fortune. Boogum!
What kind of Are you okay? Wow, he can do some acrobatics with a giant fucking nail through his chest. I'm impressed.
I sense some kind of fun. I sense some kind of purpose. Seems like fun, so I will join you.
Wait a second!
There's nothing droll about me. Just a word of advice. Stop running and come face to face with your life. Ugh. A messenger of love and courage I am. I'm lucky, I'm lucky, I'm lucky.
Hey, I think Mojo's accent is completely gone, so maybe somebody recognized that his... He had a tendency to just add to the end of words, O-M. So it would be like, Mojo joined your party. So I think that a lot of people were like, oh, it kind of sounds like a racist Native American thing. Maybe we shouldn't do that. We're going to confirm and put Mojo... do we feel like removing Mojo? Let's take a look at Mojo's stats here. 52. Mojo is a glass cannon with absolutely fuck all in most stats. But good accuracy, great agility, and a pretty solid magic resistance. Also, he's an innate black, so that's a little something to mess around with, I suppose. Actually, nah, we're not gonna... We're just gonna have him to have him. We'll use him later. Oh, he's T-posing to assert dominance. Okay, let's GTFO. Poshul turned out to be a better choice than Mojo. aside from being a different color, because, to be fair, I think we'll at least encounter a decent amount of green-type enemies, which means that Poshul will be able to do some real damage every once in a while. Let's go ahead and save. Because I've spent a lot of time explaining things and making silly voices, so... Yeah, can we save everything? Yeah. Okay, so let's start exploring this Fossil Valley area. What's up with you guys? Get to the low path and make your way through. Working on the high ground, so do not interfere with your work. Fair enough, fair enough. Otherwise, it's pretty safe, right? Alright, so we got some kind of funny-looking rat thing here. We got those weird bone structures. Ah, okay, this is our chihuahuas. They're apparently called Bubba Dingoes. And this should finish this thing off. Yep. A little bit of the old death ray. You can see Lena does some pretty decent damage with magic. Not a bad choice to pick her up early. Although, of course, Kid is still pretty good if you decide to go with her. However, it does take her a bit to learn her thieving ability, Pilfer, which is one of the main reasons that I like her, but unfortunately the game is like, hey, we don't get to let you show that off today, Moon. So, fuck you, buddy. There's a big bird up there. Now we can't go up there. What do you got for us, Chief? Investigating supernatural phenomenon up there. Are we the exorcist you sent for? Sure. Thought we'd be a bit older. I've got a feeling that what I'm about to do here is very stupid, but I don't remember. Hey, you. Yeah, if we go yell at it a bit. Oh ye gods, it's a skeleton clown. What the fuck? Oh ye gods, it's just the skull of a skeleton clown. Nyak, nyak, nyak. I like this dude already, actually. Like I'm causing quite a stir. I've been waiting forever for someone like you. Yeah, I know. You and I are both dead, eh? I don't know how I ended up like this. I don't have a body, and I don't remember a thing. You understand what I'm going through, don't ya? But I have a feeling everything will come back to me once I find my body parts. So how about it? Will you help me find my body? It's not that thing that's hanging out over to the left, is it? Because that's going to be a bit of an ask to haul that thing out. Sure. Yak, yak, yak. Yeah! I'm heavier than I look, but I hope you don't mind. Don't swing me around too much, I'll start feeling nauseous. Can a disembodied skull get nausea? Neat. That's right, I'm thinking of something else that there's any risk up here, but yeah, we got the head of Skelly. We'll be able to put him together over time by finding his bones in various places. We're basically playing Blood Will Tell, which is the Dororo video game, where you have to help put Hyakimaru back together. Alright, what's this thing? Oh, does it have some kind of creepy tongue sticking out? A little bit. A Drongo. That's a phrase or a name. And that's a big bird. Just tried to stomp on Lena. No wonder it missed, though. Sheesh. Oh man, this battle is lagging pretty heartily, so I'm turning on super speed. Actually, no. Let's finish off the Drongo. There you go. Now start wailing on the Dodo. Let's take out our Death Ray here. That should do some pretty good damage. Squark! Oh, it's offended, isn't it? So we can probably Electro-Jolt the Drongo to death, like, in one shot here. Even with Poshul's pathetic magic stat. Eh, not quite. I'm surprised. Now, this would be a good time for us to have Mojo, perhaps, but that Dodo is white innate. However, we don't have any black attacking elements, so it would probably be very high risk. Yeah, see, there you go. It's... Ouch! That's some fucking damage. Let's switch to defend. Poshu will start beating on this thing a little bit. So that way you can have element points for when this battle ends, which hopefully it will fairly soon. Hopefully I'm not, like, putting myself at too big of a risk here or anything. And don't worry, I haven't ignored the thing about the, Zelda 2 Rando tournament over there. Needed Fairy, but couldn't go to a room back. Couldn't go a room back to take a death because it was upstab blocked the other way around and Thunderbird was required. Yikes. That's pretty brutal. The game is just like, hey, hell with you having any fun, right? Zelda 2 is a pretty brutal game and the randomizer can be pretty gross sometimes. So that dude is just walking around on some bones. We can't really go talk to him. Hey, don't go down here. Think there's a monster down there? Fair enough, we're not going to deal with that. I mean, we just dealt with the Drongo and everything, but that's probably mediocre compared to whatever's over there. You got yourself a point, Buster. Oh, it's these two buckheads again.
Shake it! We can't just shake it on back to the manor like this. We failed in our mission.
That was awfully awful back there, Pepor. I want a rematch.
By the way, you remember what kind of outfit he was shaking?
Just something just like that, Pepor.
Oh, you remember? So he looked like that, huh?
Actually, it is him, Pepor.
So you're sure about that?
Wonderfully wonderful timing, Pepor.
Let's shake it! We're really gonna shake it to you this time.
Oh, they're gonna fuck up even worse this time, aren't they? We're getting the goofy music for the battle. At least Karsh had some teeth to him. This time I made sure to bring a black element with me, Pepor.
Good work. We'll shake it on up and attack him with it.
Affirmatively affirmative, Pepor. Oh, he sounds like a dangerous sort. Let's clobber him first. He might actually have something... Oh, he's got turned black. Something a joke about blackface.
Oh dear, dear. That was no black attack element you just used now. It was a black element to make your foe more susceptible to the... It was a black element that makes your foe more susceptible to attacks of the opposite color attribute white, wasn't it?
I'm afraid you are right. How terribly terrible.
You did bring a white attack element with you, didn't you? If you didn't bring one with you, you're more stupid than I thought.
How awfully awful.
I'm afraid I am more stupid than you thought, Pepor. Well, what a big fat fucking waste. That could actually be a thing that is disruptive to us, in theory, because there are certain elements that rely entirely on us being a certain attribute. So if we had something that required us to be white attribute, we would not be having such a good time right now. Low res, huh? Defense temporarily decreased. Ew! I don't like that. Let's turn dynamic camera off, by the way. It's cute once or twice, but I like to be able to see things a little better. Admittedly, if Pepor hits Surge, that's gonna fucking hurt, so... We should probably be beating up on Pepor if we were using actual strategy, but... You know, imagine me doing that. Pepor box, huh? Ooh. Yeah, he hit decently hard. That's like a quarter of our HP. Give or take. Oh, good whiff, Surge. What's gonna be best here? Alright, it's time for you to feel the heat, Pepor. Balls! Alright, now let's keep clobbering Salt with our basic physical attacks. Oh, he... By the way, he looks just so sad when he's doing that frown. Oh, ye gods. It's... We're in full red. By the way, you can see that 2 out of 2 stars under there. That is informing you that technically, yes, if we had a red summon on anybody, we could use it. However, those aren't a thing yet. We haven't gained access to any summons whatsoever, red or otherwise. I don't remember if that was a thing that was indicated in the original game or not. If that's an addition for the remaster, that is very good. I'd have to go look back at some footage of the OG to confirm. But we gained another star, we gained 160 gold, and some nice all-around stat ups for Surge. Same for Lena, again leaning a little more magical than Surge. She gained her magic resistance that Surge didn't get. Meanwhile, Poshul is all about HP and strength. So she gained a little bit of both of those. Let's heal up. And we got another copper and another uplift. Ooh, neat. Retreat! Let's shake it all out of here! And away they go. What a bunch of clowns. Take a look at what we've gained access to now by clearing Fossil Valley. We got the Shadow Forest. That sounds like a slightly dangerous place. Viper Manor. Fancy looking building, that's for sure. Anything over here? I don't think there's any locations over here at this juncture. And the city of Termina. This is where we were headed to begin with. Oh, I love this piece of music. Got a Bellflowers, huh? I can handle that. It's a big ruckus down in Fossil Valley. Men Dragoons were setting roadblocks up in the valley. Get someone in a few days, come back then. With my sincerest apologies, I understand. Back to you. Moons. Knights should be done with their work shortly. Harsh around. How's he doing? Loud. Said he was going ghost hunting down south. Yeah, I've already dealt with that. A rumor that Lord Viper ordered him to go. Give him my regards. Right, well, he ignored us. That's fine. And he had big, goofy-looking talking dog, so... Music changes completely. And our frame rate here is a little bit butts. At least it seems like it's a little bit slowed down. Blend. Oh, he's Frog. Wait a minute. It seems like there hasn't been a lot of rain much anywhere for a while. Arnie has been having that issue too. Hop on into the inn real quick, see what's going on in this area. No need for... Hey, but thank you for letting us know. Alright, here's a save point. We can save real quick. Hey, you. It's a hotspot for road vagrants. Oh, I see. We've got an autosave slot that is pinging. I should have... I've noticed that before, but didn't even think about where that was going. It's Sheila. Yeah, they're trying to make her sound... I guess they are trying to make her sound Australian and not necessarily Cockney, but whatever. The accent's not good. I don't know, you seem kind of upset about it. Fucking weirdo. Well, there's no need for you to be so judgmental about all this stuff. About makeup and everything. Jeez. World. What you got? Hey. Talk. I think it's the first place. Probably a monster of some sort. Sure. Tell Miss Riddell visiting the shrines again. Tell Miss Sweetheart Dario. I'd say. I don't know, you look unhappy. Well, since Dario died, one of the chairs for the four Devas of the Acacia Dragoons has been vacant. Sir Viper is said to be looking for candidates. See anyone who can match the caliber of the great knight Dario, though. Only you were a little younger, huh? Yeah, this plain looking dude, right? For us, barkeep. Us is open to all, but we don't allow any tabs or brawls. Up and have a grand. Got anything interesting for us in terms of selling anything? Squid gut pasta, huh? Seems to be super popular. Oh hey, this dude is looking a little bit higher res. I bet he's important. Oh hey, it's Guile. He's missing the flat top though, that's a little weird. Bet the fortune teller by the bridge. Proof from the manor within a week, you will win. Trick me on any mysterious magic, so there is no such thing as an impregnable fortress in this world.
You sound like a pompous motherfucker, but Guile is going to be the character that we choose out of the several characters that we can choose from this area. Once we get to that, there is a lot more exploration to be done around town first, though. Sure. Wow, okay, that's a thing to just get on right in front of. What do you got for sale here? Oh, my shop. You got anything a little nicer than what we're tilting? Oh, we got some green, we got Bushwhacker, we got Arrow Saucer, we got Uplift and Electro Jolt. No black or white yet, that's unfortunate. But I will definitely be grabbing an Electro Jolt. I will definitely be grabbing a Magma Bomb. Actually, I'll grab two. And I will definitely be grabbing an Ice Lance. I will now definitely be reallocating some stuff to everybody. Oh, okay, I see. This is where Poshul learns her special move, K9 Ball. She can tackle an enemy. I think that those are probably going to do more damage than the regular ones. What do you got? Looks like your move slot there is filled. So let's check if that's the case. Maiden's Hand. A slot that hurts both body and soul. There's no mana to deal damage to, so I think it's just going to be regular hitting people damage. So I'm going to assume that Surge has Dash and Slash now, yeah? Yeah. Very nice. So let's trade that Fireball for Magma Bomb, and we're going to trade out the Ice Lance for Magma Bomb as well. Because it would just be nice to have some AoE damage in our party here. Might be a smart idea to give one to Lena as well, but we'll probably be okay. I'll talk to the cat. Sorry. Thank you anyway. Oh yeah, you're the one who said, oh, he looks like a girl. People in this town, jeez. It's 2022, come on. Hey you got anything to say? No. Doing some work. Going on over here during the signage. Authorized personnel only. Yeah, we're not going over there. Can we stand on this and feel good about ourselves? Well, we don't feel any different about ourselves when we can stand on it, that's for sure. Oh, okay. Again, a little bit of racism because the demi-humans are doing the work. They're not regular humans. Yeah, see, you can see that the phrase visual shock over there. Oh, my cursor is gone. Yeah, as I said, Nikki is clearly supposed to be a visual K type of guy. So that's a little bit of what they're dealing with there. And the sign says Telmina because they didn't bother to localize any of the backgrounds when they brought this to English. You and me, yeah. I see. It depends on how well you sing, I suppose. First time visiting Termina. First time from the band. He's missing. I'm in a daze quite a few times lately. That's weird. He's supposed to be back to searching, but you haven't seen her. What's going on up here, folks? Area is off limits. Yeah, a lot of people are really into Nikki apparently, but he has gone missing. That's not so good. Hope that's something that can be fixed up fairly soon. Or maybe we're gonna have to get involved. On the other hand, I'm planning to choose Guile, so we're not going to get involved. Sorry, kid, you'll just have to continue to disappear. Oh, he's got a nice big poster here. That's a hard one. How big Viper Churro's ready? Not really, no. Hecarim Bones, again. The water from Water Dragon Isle. That replicable diva skin. That sounds like a bit rough to get the ingredients for. Add some sugar and spices. Steaming coals from Mount Pyre. Again, getting that shit out of a volcano. Add the famed dragon skin. What the hell is that? I have no idea what you just said, sir. That... A lot of those don't even sound like food items. Aw, keep going though. Oshul was talking to... I think Poshul wanted to kick that dog's ass. Amazing. You begin to sailor because you get seasick. No, I get it. Build some boats. Complicated procedure. You should probably hire some extra people to help you out. Hi, Zippa. That's a name. What are you? Signed by Tetsuya Nomura? Heyo. Right, Copper Swallow. That'd be a nice upgrade for Surge. Or an Iron Swallow. We don't have any iron right now, though. So that'll be a bit of a problem for us. Daggers are for kid. Gloves. We got a couple of people who can use gloves, but we don't have any leather to make those with. A Besom or a ladle. We don't have any carapaces for that. We probably should fight some bug monsters if we want those. Sword. Pick. The pick is for Nikki. The rod. That will be for Guile. Shot. I don't know who the shots are for. There's a couple of characters who can use an axe. We can't get Karsh yet. Somebody else can use the axes, though. I know Fun Guy is one who can get them. Iron Lure, Iron Orang, I don't know. Do you have anything we can... Oh yeah, this is to buy more armor, right? We need screws for all those helmets. Do we have anything that we can dismantle here and possibly get some use out of? The answer is no. Only iron with you. We've been out for the longest. Don't say. Fuck, dude. I just want to talk to him. Oh, he's got that scar going on. He's got, you can see a little more of his big hammer in the art. That's nice. I like Zappa's new art. They're having a... I do the accent, but my throat is giving me a little bit of a go fuck yourself right now. That the rest of my body is going, hey, you haven't eaten yet. It's not 1 or 2, there's 3. Thanks, Zappa. Okay, I get it, dude. Leave. Gotta start a new one. Game will give me control, I will, anyway. It's back here. Hey, look. Mysterious Swordsman. This is Pierre. This is another one of the options that we can take to join our party. However, Pierre is a bit of a joke character until we get 3 specific accessories for him. Pierre, because my bladder's empty. You know. He's very French. So we're probably not gonna even think about him too much. Jeez. If we talk to this target dummy with, a training dummy rather, with our friend Mojo in the party, he will respond like, what? Oh, I thought that was someone else. Which is kind of cute. There's a lot of special dialogue that you can get for talking to various folks with different members of your party. Hey, we found the Profiteer Purse. That's something that we're going to dismantle right away because that's the source of some iron! And we don't need more money, even though it's... Like, getting money in this game is not super hard. Again, because most of the fights are pretty simple, too, so... Yeah. I want to see Master go. He's gone, so I guess we get to see... Kid, right? There you are. A kid painting. Well, he looks like a kid anyway. I think this guy's like an actual adult, but he is shorter than us. He looks so miserable. We'll leave him on the right track, however. I mean, it's okay. It does what it's supposed to do, but it is very, very blue. Hey, when did he show up? Quite the facial hair. Quite the wart right next to his eyeball, too. I mean, you could try selling his paintings, dude. Or you could find somebody else who could try selling his paintings for him, but... Face looks a little bit stretched. Alright, so let's go visit Zippa again real quick and ask her and his wife, or her and her wife, ask her and her husband, pardon me, to make me some iron weapons real quick by dismantling that Profiteer Purse. Yeah, see, that gives us 3 iron, and 3 copper, and 3 bone. That's pretty good. So let's go ahead and let's forge ourselves an Iron Swallow. Yeah, that did cost us a fair chunk of cash. We are now out of money, so... Admittedly, it might have been a little bit smart to go get into some fights. But I think we'll be okay. We'll equip the Iron Swallow, and we're gonna just sell the Sea Swallow, because I don't think that can even be broken down into bones or anything. Yeah, see, it's not able to be broken down, so we're just gonna sell... Oh, we can't sell it either. So yeah, if we want more cash, we're gonna have to go and beat things up to raise it for ourselves, but we do have a pretty good weapon on Surge. So at least we've got that going for us. Oh, by the way, we haven't actually checked Lena's status. I should probably be checking everybody's statuses here. Sweet country gal, 16 years old, 5'5", weighs 93 pounds. Again, totally normal. It's fine. No parts of her body should be caved in from that. Honest. Let's go... I was gonna say, is this gonna let us go find Kid? Or do we have to go and talk to more people? Because I thought we were good to go from here. Oh yeah, we have to go up. Here to polish Master Viper's statue again. Well, Yeah, is that so? That's why you're playing hopscotch? Alright. Hey there, Mr. Statue Polisher. Fair enough. Yeah? It does look pretty cool, to be honest with you, so... Powerful soldiers standing guard in front of the main gates who can destroy any monster with just one blow. Well, I guess we'll have to stealth our way in, huh? Hey, kid. You gotta sneak into Viper Manor. I guess. You got some business there too, huh? Sure, I guess. I mean, I think we should be talking a little further away from it, but... You know. A teleporter. This, yeah, allows us to exchange party members from afar. Oh, thanks for not telling us how to do things. And now we can have Kid in the party and being ditch Poshul. Yeah, she's still wounded from the last battle, which is a little strange, but okay. However, I think now she has the ability to steal. I'll have a quick check of that and see what's up with her. Allocate elements to Kid. Yeah, there's a slot missing there, which we can fill with a fireball. And she's got a fireball +2 and a pilfer. There we go. Attempt to steal your opponent's treasure. Another magma bomb would be smart, but we are actually, like, out of cash right now, so... Still playing with that boy. Guys, I told you to stay away from him. No buts. Buts. That boy says it's a flat-out lie, you say, huh? Oh, that kid's lying. He's gonna go hang out with Korcha at some point. Not sure why you'd want to. Korcha's a bit of an asshole, and not a good party member when you get him, but we'll come to that when we come to it. Or when we don't get him. What's going on here? Boy, joined the circus and became a clown. Uh-oh. I think we found your son's skull. So I guess once we complete Skelly, we should bring him back here. There we go, Skelly. Yep. Uh-oh. Skelly's just like, oh, this is gonna be real awkward real soon, isn't it? And yes, my friend, it is definitely going to be exactly as awkward as it sounds. I believe now is when we can make our choice for how we enter the Viper Manor. And in that case, let's go find this dude. What you got, Chief? There's no such thing as an impregnable fortress in this world. Victory only proves this all the more. Manor as well. Interesting. Gambling is a lot more interesting with higher stakes. You need now is a seasoned sailor and a sturdy boat to cross the rough waters. If you can find one, leave the rest to me. I will guide you to Viper Manor. What will it be? Yeah, we're gonna go with Guile. Guile enigmatically joined your party. So, Guile is a character who is rather well known in the Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger fandom for the fact that he was originally going to be, but later did not turn out to be, Magus in this game. That plotline was pulled late-ish into development because I guess the authors just did not like it very much. And then there's the mess hall. However, you can see, well, first of all, he's Black Element, which basically means that he's Shadow. And when he runs, he's got that sort of floating thing. Unlike Magus, he does not equip a scythe, he equips a staff. If I can remember to use the equip menu properly. You can see he's got a bone rod, he's got ivory mail, he's got a bunch of chunks of things, and let's allocate some elements to him and see what he's rocking. He's rocking a pretty pathetic looking element grid, but trust me, this guy's gonna get good eventually. I swear, I swear. It's probably gonna be a bit late game, but why not start preparing now, right? So we'll throw in a fireball. We will fail the controls. Put in an Ice Lance. We will put in an Electro Jolt, and let's have a look at this Wand In move real quick. Throw your magic wand into the insides of foe. That sounds very painful, but that is his special move. He conjures his staff into his target, and it does a lot of damage, basically telefragging them. And it's our only Black Element move for the moment. Alright, can you tell us about a boat? No need, but thank you anyway. This is interesting. You're not dead or anything, are you? Has anybody called you back from the great beyond? You just might be the key to the destruction of this entire What? I can't say for sure, but fate seems to have a great task for you. Careful now, boy. Beauty and vote for a beast. Be mindful not to bring about your own fate. Being lies in the way to involve you. A live mermaid, huh? That, I don't know if it would fit in the tank very well. That's pretty bizarre. Oh, hey, look at this kid in a Speedo and long legs. You just throw something at someone? How would ya feel if you were trapped in a tank like that, being stared at every day, huh? Oh shit, he's from PETA. Oh, so this is the vaunted Korcha, huh? You're selling a bunch of bull. Why didn't ya keep the tank uncovered when I showed up? Hey everybody, this guy's a great big phony! I pretty much said the right thing. Wouldn't take that from a sleazebag like you. What a phrase. Oh, he's back in the sea and he's going for a swim. Is her dress, like, backless? Oh no, he's rowing out a boat. Well, time to go give him a swirly until he gives us his boat, I guess. Actually, saying that, I see the time and it is getting a little bit late, and my body is telling me that I probably should go have a meal instead of fucking around like this, because I haven't for the better part of the day. Gee, I wonder why I'm so tired sometimes. But first, we're going to demo Guile a little bit and see if we can't grab ourselves a little bit of cash in the process. Fight us a Bubba Dingo. We'll also take a look at that Dodo group and see if Guile can do some serious damage to the Dodo with Wanda in, because again, that is our only source of black element damage at the moment, so it might be a pretty good one. Although you can see he is slow as balls, and one thing that I didn't get a chance to show off yet is that his stamina recovery is a whopping 8 compared to everybody else that we've got at this point, who is much higher. Yeah, let's take a look. Surge to stamina recovery of 10. Guile, as we can see, is 8. And Kid is at 12. So let's take a look at Guile, the Masked Magician. 6'2" and 154 pounds. My ass. Although he does look a little bit on the skinnier side. Like, his coat probably weighs as much as he does, all considered. Although he does have, you know, some muscular definition at least. Like, he probably wouldn't completely job to a chihuahua or something. You know, he could probably take Korcha barehanded. But also, I like how his staff just floats. Like, what a pretentious asshole. I love it. If I could do it, I probably would too, so, you know, I can't judge too much, but also, damn. Alright, let's take this fight real quick. See, we're doing a decent bit more damage to these enemies now, by the way, which is just fantastic. I want to cure Guile. I want to cure Kid. There we go. This Kid is not in great shape health-wise. Alright, Guile. Stick it to him. Oh, right! I forgot. Rods have a thing where the third hit, where the 3 attack can hit every enemy, which is very handy. So Guile is going to actually come in handy quite a bit throughout this endeavor. Ooh! Painful! And it's still not a kill. Like, that would fuck you right up. if you got hit by that in real life. Alright, so let's demonstrate Pilfer real quick. Hey, we got a feather. Hey, he gave us a jackhammer. That was not pleasant. Oh, Jackhammer. That's a character from one of the Phoenix Wright games. Do you have tablets on you? Yes, you do. You know what? We'll use a tablet. I don't really like wasting consumables like this, but you know what? It'll be fine, I swear. And how do you like a little bit of Electro Jolt, Buster? Only dislikes it just enough. That's fine. Alright, use consumables in stock too if needed. Hey. We don't have to reallocate, right? Yeah, they restock from the stock. Cool. Alright, let's get out of here. We can actually go down there and we can fight the other dodo now if we want to, but I don't know about that right now. So with that, let's go ahead and save, and I think that's going to do for the evening because, wow, we played a bunch of this. Alright, everybody, that is going to do it for tonight. I'm going to drop my usual stuff in here. YouTube, there's a new video coming out on Tuesday. And Twitter. So, despite the fact that this stream was a little bit later than usual, we are going to be moving streams back to starting at 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time for a little while. Possibly, like, for the entire foreseeable future, but at the very least, for the moment, while we play this game. And we are going to continue playing this. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say in terms of a lot of things, but it is definitely a little bit jankier than you would want something like this to be. God, I hope there's some patches, and I sincerely hope that a lot of this jank doesn't affect Radical Dreamers, which is a fucking text adventure. So, yeah, good night, everybody.